All right, we live.
All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Welcome to the GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday, noon Eastern Time, to talk basketball and the GOAT conversation. So we're here again with another great episode for y'all. We're going to drop some bombs for y'all again like we normally do. Shout out to everybody who is following us on our YouTube channel, everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's a member to the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Thank you so much. Shout out to everybody on our Facebook platform as we're also live on our Facebook group. We have our homeboy Ernest here, a true GJK member here. And we got Brandon as usual. So y'all say what's up to the family and everybody out.
Good, everybody.
What's good? What's good?
Yeah, man. Ralph and Craig should be joining soon enough. But today's show, man, is a great show, right? We all feeling good. The Lakers got a win yesterday. My Heat got a win yesterday. So I'm feeling good. I can't wait to see Ralph's face to come bring up his excuses about his Knicks. But yesterday was a great game for the Lakers. The Lakers took a 2-1 lead. And all the haters, they're not here today. They were loud after Curry went off for what, 20 and 12, Brandon? That's what you said, he had 20 and 12?
Yeah, 20 and 12. Game 2. I mean, it actually took them a week to say something because the Lakers been winning playoff series and they've been hiding under a rock. But as soon as they smell a loss, it's the whole world about to end.
Shout out to Chris, Frederick, keep it 100. A Weezy Bang was good. Y'all make sure y'all check out A Weezy Bang's channel. He goes live every day about the Lakers, and he definitely be checking these haters. Y'all give a shout out to them. Peace out to Emilio, Chris, everybody. Like I said, man. But today's show is gonna be a special show because we're gonna talk about why everybody's all of a sudden thinks if Stephen Curry wins this series, or if the Warriors win this series, that he's gonna be better than LeBron James or hop over LeBron James on the GOAT conversation. And then we're also going to discuss why people have a problem with not having Michael Jordan as the GOAT and why y'all labeled me as the biggest Jordan hater in the GJK membership. So we definitely going to get a good conversation going today about that. So, Brandon, it's your show, brother. Let's go. Let's get it going because I know you want to talk about the Stephen Curry thing.
All right, so let me bring up. Well, first, I want to talk about. Matter of fact, I can bring up that clip later, but let's talk about one thing that Stephen A. have been saying about Stephen Curry, basically. So he basically said that Stephen Curry is going to replace LeBron James on the Mount Rushmore players because if he wins, and he was saying that Steph Curry is superior than LeBron because he always beat him in the playoffs and all this other stuff, and he just went on to say a lot of different things. But let me play this one clip about what he was saying. Matter of fact, it was him and Jalen Rose as well. So hold on for a second, guys. Let me get this clip. Okay, here we go.
Superstars at the forefront of the marquee. Let's start with them. Stephen A. For LeBron James and Steph Curry, what is at stake in this series?
I think potentially, for me personally, you're talking about legacy. You're talking about who's going to be held in higher regard without debate. Obviously, they're both all-time greats. We understand the greatness of LeBron James. We certainly understand the greatness of Steph Curry. But so many times we've talked about the LeBron James era, because he went to 10 NBA finals. He won 4. Well, Steph Curry's been to 8. Okay.
All right, so right there, that's the first time he lied. Steph Curry has not been to 8 finals. So he tried to boost Stephen Curry's finals record up just so he could say that Steph Curry's better than LeBron if he beats him. I know I created this slide on our show, this graphic showing how LeBron has performed versus Steph Curry in the finals. Like, it's not really close. Steph Curry, every time he faced LeBron, he wasn't really the best player on his own team. When he faced LeBron, in 2015, Iggy won the Finals MVP. 2016, if they would have won, Draymond Green would have won that Finals MVP. And then we all know KD won the other two. So Steph Curry has never really been the best player on his team when he faced LeBron. He definitely has not been better than LeBron James during those times that they played in the finals. And for one thing, no one gives Scottie Pippen any credit over Magic or Clyde Drexler or Charles Barkley or Karl Malone because the Bulls won. So why they're trying to say the second best player on those teams is going to be above LeBron James, which is I think is kind of crazy. So let me just keep going on.
What's good, SB? Thanks for
What's
joining us,
Oh,
brother. What's good,
Oh,
oh, what's
salute,
brother?
good,
fam.
Thank
SB?
you, thank you.
Salute,
Okay.
family. Salute,
Oh,
Been
look,
family.
hey, they
around.
go.
Great.
All the MJ delegates come at once. Oh my God. Oh my God. What's good,
He
fellas?
called y'all
Sorry for
MJ.
being
He
late,
called
man.
y'all MJ delegates. That's
The MJ delegates, man. Hey, listen, these guys represent Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan fans to the best, man. Appreciate y'all,
yeah.
fellas,
Let me
man.
go
What's good?
crazy, MJ.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Salute.
what's
man. What's
going
good,
on? What's
fellas,
up,
man?
SB? What's
Yeah.
going
The,
on,
the
Johnny? What's
Knicks,
going on,
the
Brandon? What's going
Knicks,
on,
the
Chris?
What's good,
Knicks,
everybody?
the Knicks.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with my next man.
You cooked. I'm not believing in them ever again. You cooked.
I heard you on Chill Town show on his live, man.
I'm
I'm
done with you.
disappointed in SB.
This the second
Nah,
time
but
I believed in y'all and y'all failed me against the Hawks.
I
And
I
now against the Heat. I've never believed in the Knicks ever again.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like y'all coming with the Heat. The Heat is actually playing better basketball. I mean,
Mhm.
if we
We go.
keep on playing like this, yeah, we out of the series.
We're gonna get to it, Ralph. We're gonna get to it, Ralph. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead, Brandon. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, let me keep on going about this.
Yeah,
Hold
please.
up.
I like this.
All right, let's just left. I'll put it back in. All right.
And was it me or was that
And
clip
he's one.
going in and out?
Yeah, that was going in and
It's,
out for me too.
It's going in and out.
going in and out.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like it's freezing or something. But I mean, we can hear what he says, but like it pauses in and out like every few seconds.
Yeah, I was hearing that too. That's kind of weird. All right, but I guess we can still hear him.
4-2. Excuse me, he belongs in that kind of conversation. And if he were to knock off LeBron James and dare I say advance and ultimately win his 5th championship, it would give him one more than LeBron. It would tie him with Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant. Okay, when you think about it on that level, there's no question to me that it has a profound impact, potentially.
So I think it enhances Steph Curry a lot more if he's able to win it this year.
And
All right. So, what do you guys think about that? Does that it will enhance Steph Curry's career more and put him one above LeBron James? Do you think that will make Steph Curry surpass LeBron James on the all-time list?
I'm
What you
I'm
think?
I'm confused with the fact of how can a guy who ain't even a top 10 player yet go get another ring and then go from in the top 10 to number 2 all time? And like, don't get me wrong, I think LeBron and Steph Curry are both in a great position where they have a lot to gain with nothing to lose in this situation at all. Like if I done said this, I don't know if I said it to y'all guys or y'all trying to bang. No, I said it on his channel. I said me personally, I said it on Ralph Live. If LeBron get this ring, I'll put LeBron over Jordan for me because, like, I think all those 3 guys got a case to be to go him, Kareem, Jordan. But for me, it's just I never seen nobody play this good to this elite for this long. So me personally, if LeBron does get it done, I'm putting Jordan down. I'm putting LeBron as a go. Now, when it comes to Steph Curry, I think only thing this will annoy him is that he'll probably end up being solidified as a top 10 player and maybe take Magic spot. But like he just cracked the top 50 in points. I think he just cracked the top 50 in assists, if that. He not 150 or something in like steals, not 250 in rebounds. Only thing he really on top of the list is 3-point shooting. And people forget the fact of that. The first couple years, he really get elite to like his 4th, 5th year, and he was injured a lot. Like, and then also when it's coming to his championship teams with KD, at least he wasn't the best player on his team. So I just think like we kind of get to that like in the moment, try to annoy people a little too fast, and I kind of hate that. So I think for me, the only thing this do for Steph Curry is put him in my top 10. But to be over LeBron, nah, that's a little too far fetched for me.
All right, what you think, Ernest?
The same as him. I mean, I got LeBron as the GOAT. I'm just this ring argument, they contradicting themselves. You can now when you have more rings, now you can be better than LeBron, but if you got more rings than Jordan, you can't be better than Jordan. It never make any sense to me. So like I don't Curry, he lost. I mean, Curry is the greatest 3-point shooter ever. I respect him for that. He's a good player, but ever since he recruited KD because he blew a 3-1 lead, I can't even put him in no top 5 conversation. He shouldn't have did that. Like you should have ran it back when it was even and showed people that you better than them and you can beat them. But he didn't. He crashed the KD. Then the other one, that's the only 2 he won, and then he won one. What was that last year? I mean, injuries happen in the NBA, but I feel like if he would have went against a healthy team, they would have lost. But that's just a what if. But Curry, I don't even have him in top 10 for me.
Me too.
Him winning another ring definitely ain't gonna make him better than LeBron, unless people want to say Robert Horry better than Jordan. If they want to say that, then we can start that conversation. Curry better than LeBron somehow with 5 rings.
All right, Craig, what you think?
Until someone get 5 final MVPs, LeBron will be second on my list.
That's Craig, short and simple. Don't play
got
around.
Curry.
He don't play around.
Let's go, Craig.
All right,
My
what you
boy,
think,
Craig.
Well, if Curry gets a 5th ring, he's gonna be in that 6 to 10 range for me. I have him at his 11th right now. And
who would he take out in your top 10?
I'll take Hakeem out.
Okay. And Shaq's out your top 10?
I don't have Shaq in my top 10.
Okay. All right.
O'Neal?
Yeah, you see my top 10 all the time. Every time you come on my live, man.
That's an ABA though.
Did you put Wilt back in your top 10?
Is Wilt back in
not
in my top 10. He's in my top 10.
There's Shaq.
That's tough.
All right.
Gotta have
Travis. I don't.
I
think
moved Bill Russell up though. Yet. I did move Bill Russell up. He's in my top 5 now. Bill Russell's in my top 5.
That's
tough.
All right. Travis, I don't think you heard the conversation. You came in late, but Stephen A. Smith was saying that if Steph Curry gets this ring, it might boost him above LeBron James and the Mount Rushmore players. So what you think about that?
I wouldn't put him above LeBron if I'm being unbiased, just because LeBron has 4 MVPs and then he has 4 Finals MVPs, which definitely matters. You got to have Curry in your top 10, otherwise you're just being unobjective. He's the greatest shooter of all time. You don't have someone who's the greatest at something not in your top 10. Otherwise, you just don't know basketball.
You talk right now or after this ring?
No, currently the greatest at something is absolutely, and plus he has hardware. There's no way he's not in your top 10.
I disagree. I'm not let you your point, but I don't want to argue before. But
if he was just Ray Allen and then he had no MVPs, no rings, no fine, but he has all the hardware. He's been the guy, and he's the best at a category. How do you not have him?
Travis, can I ask you who was the greatest shooter before Stephen Curry?
The greatest shooter. It was you could argument that it was probably Ray Allen, but the reason why Steph's the best is because he smashes all the shooting categories. Not just I had the most threes or I did it with the most volume. He has the most threes made in a season. He's arguably the most efficient volume shooter of all time. He smashes like PR records. Like he was the only unanimous MVP. He shoots like he has like 2 50, 40, 90 seasons, and like he was shooting like 45%. It's not even a question anymore.
Besides,
but that's what I'm saying. So but see, that's what I'm saying. You added a lot to it. It wasn't just being the best shooter. Obviously, it's more to it. So
it's total. We look at total resumes here. Total resumes. Yeah. It's all about.
Okay, all right. Because I was gonna say because with the total resume, Stephen Curry's not top 20.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, if you count his total resume, which is just because what you guys are doing is, if we take away the 4 championships, what makes him top 10?
Why would you take those away?
Because that's the only reason you're putting him in the top 10. And there's players that have championships just like him. Matter of fact, 3 of his teammates have 4 championships.
Bang just said so. You must have Steve Nash got to be high on your list then, because he got hardware and efficient, and he was a great shooter then.
Nash doesn't even have one ring,
but he got 2 MVPs.
Ray Allen has 2 rings. He's not in your top 20.
You're saying. Again, I'm saying complete resume. You can't just. I said he has 2 MVPs. He has MVPs. He has a final. He has 2 Finals MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, which is huge, and 4 rings. I'm not just saying pick and choose. I'm saying the entire thing. Nash has no rings. He was never the guy. He has 1 legit MVP, 1 fraudulent MVP. He never sniffed the finals.
First player to win a conference
That's what I'm
finals.
saying. If you take away
and a
Curry's
finals
4
MVP.
championships, what makes him better than Nash?
He's still a far better shooter than Nash.
But you're not a testament to the era that we play in because
But I'm
James
saying,
Harden
but-
high on the list.
But the things that you're giving Stephen Curry credit for to be top 10 is not actually helping Nash or Ray Allen reach a top 20 on your list. So these factors don't matter for other players other than Curry, from what I can tell.
And then how would dude automatically your top 10? He just cracked the top 50 in points this year.
It seems like we're ignoring complete and total resumes. Rings, if you're the guy on a team, if you're the man and you're leading a team, then rings matter. That's why Robert Ory isn't the GOAT.
Doing the rings, the rings don't make your career complete. If exactly what SB said, if you just crack the top 50 in assists, you just crack the top 50 in scoring, you only have 21,000 points.
I never said that. It's not only rings; it's everything. He has 2 MVPs.
But that's
what
part
I'm
of his resume.
The totals and everything else is a part of his resume. He's not.
Yeah, he has 2 MVPs.
He's not high.
He has 2 MVPs. He has 2 Finals MVPs and 4 rings. That's all part of his resume.
He got 1 Finals
all
MVP.
you're counting is accolades. All you're counting is accolades, Travis. All you're counting is accolades. That's not a complete resume.
I have a question. Who all has Steph Curry in their top 10 besides Travis?
I don't. I got him at 11.
Okay,
Right.
name 9 players who deserve to be more or ahead of Curry and why.
That's easy.
You ready?
That's really
Sure.
You ready?
Sure.
LeBron, Mike, Kareem, Russell, Wilt, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Akeem, Dr. J. Should I continue?
Why does I can opt it out of my head.
Moses Malone has 3 MVPs.
Who
you took out your top 10?
Who knocked out of those that he said, Travis?
Okay, so just off the top of my head, I'm a huge Kobe guy, but make an argument for me, minus rings, that he's ahead of Curry, top 10.
You ready?
Sure.
15 All NBAs, 15 All Defensive Selections, 33,000 points.
He got 12 all defensive.
Yeah, he has 12. And
my bad. Okay.
he played for 20 years.
Guess how many Steph Curry got all defensive teams?
0.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, wait, how many All NBAs does Stephen Curry has?
With some coffee on the side.
How many All NBA does Kevin Curry have, Travis?
All NBA? I have no idea. I haven't looked it up.
I thought you said he had a complete career. See, he doesn't have a complete career.
That is a complete career.
8 is not complete enough. 8 is what Dwayne Wade has.
Only have like 3 All NBA first teams.
4. He has 4.
And then you love to break up the championship because Curry got what? He got 4 rings, right? Half of his championships, he wasn't the best player on his team. It was Kevin Durant.
That's debatable.
It's not debatable.
No, it's not debatable. That's clear cut. Nah, KD was the best player. That's clear cut, man.
I would say KD was the best player in like 2 of those finals.
Yeah, that's
They only
the
won
only
2 together.
Curry's
They only won 2 together.
I mean,
And
Iggy got
then
the
the
other one.
one Curry MVP he got last year, Wiggins should have got that because Wiggins was playing better than
No.
We're not doing that. Curry clearly got that one. Curry clearly got that
I
one.
don't know, man.
He's
It
the
was-
first
it was
player
a few
to win
of
the
them
conference
games.
he was
finals
killing
MVP and the finals MVP the same season. That got to
They
count
just
for
made
something.
that award up, man. Get out of
Somebody
here.
mute Craig.
Look, hey,
You gotta leave it up to Craig. Craig is always gonna bring up some good
you
shit,
make
bro.
your pictures, just go ahead and get LeBron all the Larry Bird finals conference MVPs that he should have got there. Since we doing that,
We can't do that. Officially, Curry officially has a conference MVP. He does have one. Not too many players could say they have one. He actually does have one. He has
the first one.
Travis, tell me about Steph Curry being a point guard, because some people are putting him above Magic Johnson. Would you put him above Magic right now?
No. We're not doing that.
If he get this one, he is.
Nah.
It's debatable.
I mean, okay, if he says if he
I
gets
think
this
it
one,
closes the gap.
He's not better than Magic Johnson. I'm sorry.
it's super close though, because like what does Magic have over Curry besides like his passing ability?
That's
Being
a point guard. He
being a
was
point.
the
What
best
what
MVP.
what
point
does
Yeah,
guard
He
being a
has
in
point?
the
one
What
league
does
MVP. He
being
because
has
a
two
of
point
more
what
guard
I
do?
point
feel
guards
MVPs.
do.
He has two more Finals MVPs. I mean,
We
yeah.
gotta be.
I
We
feel
gotta
That
be
like
was
I
the
feel
genuine.
like
best
The point
point
Magic
guard
could
guard
go
he
position
to
can
don't
elite
play the
score.
four
That's
same
and be
now,
not
a
a.
title
y'all.
contender.
We gotta be
Curry can't
genuine.
do
The
that.
point guard position don't play the same
No,
no more.
no, no. He has to be a point guard to be above a point guard.
I
Come on
mean,
now.
let me go to everybody's favorite website, Basketball Reference. It say
He
PG
is
next to it. That's
he
all.
is third in assists, and he only played 13 seasons. Like,
Sure,
You
but
know,
okay, if you're talking about just a genuine pure point guard, sure, Magic. But if you're just talking basketball player, Steph Curry is way better.
Not
I
way
wouldn't say
way better
that.
is crazy.
Travis,
Nah, I wouldn't
you
say
have
that.
Curry ahead of Magic on your list all time.
Uh, for me, I mean, I would
No,
say
you better not.
I could toss it up, but like it's like I said, Curry just did. He was just the far more valuable player, if you ask me.
man, Magic Johnson.
Okay, hold on. Let's get a better understanding, Travis.
I don't
Can
know
you
about
please
that.
give us your top 10 so we can get a better understanding of how you got your list? So we can see
Sure,
where
my
your
top
list is.
10 is Mike. I have I have Mike, Kareem, Braun, Duncan. I have Magic, Larry, Hakeem, and I want to move on. I definitely have Curry, and I want to put Shaq up there, but I sometimes
Russell.
flip flop between like him and Bill.
Okay, so you
Oh,
have
Bill, easy.
okay, so you have all right.
So you just basically from the normal top 10, you don't have Wilt in the top 10.
or Russell. You just said Bill Russell is not ahead
No,
of
he said
Stephen Curry.
Russell and Shaq. So I don't know if you taking out
Yeah, Bill
Russell
Russell.
or Wilt.
Yeah, you gotta say it again. I ain't hear it clearly. Yeah.
No,
No,
he
yeah,
said
so-
he said Mike. He said
Okay.
Kareem,
I said
LeBron,
Mike,
Duncan.
yeah, Mike, Kareem, LeBron,
Duncan.
Duncan,
Duncan.
You said Hakeem,
Hakeem,
Bird,
Curry,
Magic.
and
Magic Bird.
yeah, I said Larry, and I need to write
Magic.
all of them. Yeah, Magic,
Okay,
That's
we got
8. So that's it. So then you have
and
Stephen
then I
Curry,
have
9.
Kobe and Wilt.
Kobe
Okay,
will.
Wilt.
Kobe. Okay, so
So-
Shaq and Russell's out.
And Russell's out.
Mostly the best two-way players. That's why I
Russell
get
gotta be-
like you don't have like see that's why like I have a problem putting like I don't want to put Curry and Magic super high because of the zero like all defensive teams. But
Yeah, but
I just they did so much for the game.
Well, Magic played center. Curry, well, you'll never see him Curry play
Nah,
center.
that's a myth. That's a myth.
myth.
That's a,
He's
I
on
was
six
just
nine.
about to
He
say
caught
that.
the tip
That's
off
a
the
myth.
play.
Hey, he
Guard.
jumped
Stop
ball.
that, man.
He jumped
He
ball.
did the tip
That's a
off. He
myth.
did the jump
Hey.
ball and played point
No,
guard.
No one would pick
Let me
that.
center.
Steph Curry didn't take a jump ball.
But
Curry's
hey,
not 6'8", dude.
hey, another thing they go dock Steph with though, but I ain't like I'll be letting them live because I don't want to start it. But if you really think about it, Steph ain't really start winning until he start playing more off ball and not really playing point guard. They ain't come elite.
I'm glad you said that. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
All right,
Steve
so,
Kerr said get off the ball, but
And so I don't know if me and Johnny had this conversation, but the reason why Steph Curry is so good, people just don't understand how valuable Draymond Green is.
Yep.
Draymond Green runs the offense, and we see that in game 1, they tried to put Steph Curry on the ball as a point guard, and they came back, which was kind of false hope for Steph Curry fan, because you saw him operate as a point guard, and during that stretch, everybody else was really going off, but Steph, because he could get double teamed, he's just not that type of player who could bring up the ball and just score. We see LeBron do it because LeBron is a walking mismatch. So in game 2, they decided to let Steph Curry basically be the point guard. And you see he had 20 and 12. And Stephen A. Smith was raving about it because he wants Steph Curry to win. He was saying that Steph Curry could do what Magic Johnson could do. Look at what Steph Curry did. He had 20 and 12. He could do exactly what Magic Johnson do. That's why he said that he might be a better point guard than Magic. But as we see throughout his career, Magic Johnson has 100. Keep going off. He had 183 20 and 12 games in the regular season of 42 compared to Steph Curry 29 and 2. And LeBron's, they say he's not a point guard, but he dwarfs Steph Curry as well. And one of the things that I talked about was that it's easy to double team Steph. He's a point guard and he would not score as much. He's more effective off the ball because he's not really a point guard. And that's why Draymond Green is so valuable. I argue with so many people how valuable Draymond Green is because they don't understand what he do on the court. So in game 2, when the Lakers, for some reason, kept Anthony Davis and LeBron James in the paint, Steph Curry was allowed to come off screens wide open. It wasn't really to do much with his point guard skills. It was because of stupid defense. So in game 2, they just decided to, game 3, they decided to basically step up on those pick and rolls, and Steph Curry was not valuable at all because he was not coming off those screens and he was just passing the ball to, everyone else, but not taking care of himself. So that's why they got blew out in game 3 because all you have to do is step up on the screen. Steph Curry is not as effective as a point guard, but if you let Draymond Green play the point guard, Steph Curry can run around, get wide open, Clay gets wide open, and it sets the whole offense up. So this is why Draymond Green is valuable on the team as the ball distributor, basically as the point guard. And that's why Steph Curry is really not a point guard, and he cannot be effective at playing a point guard because of the way that he is not able to, shoot those shots because he's like you said, the greatest shooter of all time. He needs to be able to actually shoot instead of bringing the ball up and getting double team at half court. All right, Johnny, you go ahead and take it over. What you think about that? You're on mute, buddy.
You're on mute, Johnny.
No, I agree with you. That's what I was going to bring up, and that's why I'm glad SB brought it up, because the true facilitator of their offense, and for me, a facilitator is the guy that knows how to get everybody into the right positions or the right player where they're at. That's Draymond Green. He knows how to get everybody the ball where they need the ball at. He is the main one. He knows everything about their offense. He runs their offense to the fullest as far as the facilitator. Now, Curry is the better playmaker because Curry can also pass and shoot. But like Brandon said, when you're bringing up the ball as the main shooter or the number one guy, you officially obliterate being a facilitator, because he's and Ernest brought it up well last week when he said when these people are bringing up the ball, what is their first option? Is it to shoot or pass? So is Curry coming up to actually be a facilitator, to actually pass the ball and get the offense going, or is he coming up to find his shot? So, and like Brandon said, in game 1, when they were down, they said, okay, we're going to give you the ball. And because they saw the Lakers were playing the drop defense, right? They're going to go over the screen and play drop on the screener. So he's going to get that open 3-pointers, which he got hot. He hit like 3 or 4 in a row, got other guys open. Because, when Curry gets hot, it's hard to stop him, right? So they thought that was going to work. That's why they added JaMychal Green. Because now with JaMychal Green on the floor, the Lakers can't have 2 guys just roaming the paint. You have to guard everybody on the floor, because they weren't guarding Peyton. They were not guarding even Poole. They're letting Poole shoot. They said, Poole, go ahead, shoot those, because Poole's going to do something
go ahead and
stupid.
beat us.
Yeah, and they're not guarding Draymond Green. So it's like, okay, how do we open the floor? Because Curry tried to attack, and all he did was meet up Anthony Davis, who's averaging 4 blocks per game. So it worked well in game 2. It worked well in game 2 because the Lakers were trying to see the adjustment they needed to make, and they made it in game 3, and Curry couldn't do nothing as a facilitator. He just couldn't get his shot off, and he couldn't get nobody else's shot off because he's not really a great point guard. He's technically a shooting guard. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Right. I think don't get me wrong. I think like Steph has the ability to do that. Like we just see Steph Curry pass, but it's just like for them to be as great as they want to be, he has to play the position off ball. And I think he has the best, like early Curry, it was kind of hard for him to bring other ball creators on shot. Because I think today he's a better version of his unanimous MVP year. So now he got the ability to get to the rim because he got a little bit bigger. He got the big learn how to create shots because he's seen the guy named Kevin Durant, who's the best player on the team. He seen how he actually got it done to be their shot maker, to get out their system, because the Warriors was dominating the whole league because of their system that they ran. Then the league started catching up, and they ended up going to get Kevin Durant because, when the offense get caught up, so we need to get his own shot. And I think Steph finally got to that point where he can be that guy that create his own shot. But I think he has the ability to make passes. I'm not going to completely deny him of that. I just don't think they will be as great as they is today, or a championship contender team, if he has to worry about being like the primary playmaker.
Ernest, what you think?
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. But one thing I was just thinking of that's probably off topic that kind of frustrates me with Curry. Is it just me, or every time he shoot, y'all see him flop? Any try to contest, he shoot a
That's
shot.
the whole league now, bro. That's the whole league.
That's that Reggie Miller stuff.
But the way Curry does it, though, it's like on every single shot if you contest. This man throwing his legs out, flopping, falling down. Like, don't
Turn it to
nobody
the
be
side.
touching him.
But
That
there's
shit
a
be
rule against
confusing the
that.
hell out of me.
There's a rule against that. The offensive player can no
But
longer
they
do that.
don't really call it on Steph Curry because he like turns his body to the side all the time when he shoots.
Every
Mhm.
single time he shoots
Yeah.
and it's contested, he does it.
But every time he shoots, somebody is running at him full speed. So you can't
Yeah,
blame
but
him
they
for
ain't
trying
touching him
to
though. But he
Yeah,
flopping
they're
he
like
just
trying
got,
to
like,
run past him,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah.
turns his body just so he could clip him.
I be
Yeah,
watching the game, and
yeah.
every time he shoot, I be like, man, stop doing that shit.
L1, he gonna get an L1.
Even when he shoots bad, though, even when he shoots bad, he shoots good. He was 4 for 10 from 3-point land yesterday, which is actually good. He's incredible though. He is incredible.
Nah, he
Every
dog.
time,
He
every
dog.
time he shooting, you thinking like, man, you better miss. I hope you don't make it. That's how good he is. You
I
gotta
ain't
get
never
up
see
and
the
hope you
dude.
make
I ain't
it.
never see the dude get better from his MVP. Like won the MVP and get better than that. He better than the MVP for him. That's crazy to me.
All right, Craig, what you think?
I mean, I say if you want to put the you want to beat a team, you just make the best scorer a facilitator, and that's what they did.
Yeah, that's you. They don't really have a choice because
Gotta give us more
they're
than that,
sagging
Craig.
off.
It's
They're
like 4
making
words.
Draymond Green not important because they're not playing him.
No, I'm not
And-
saying, but I mean, if you
Yeah.
put anyone who can facilitate and let your best scorer be free to do that, then you had a better chance of winning, even if they're not a great facilitator. Just don't put the ball in your best shooter hand and try to make him run the offense, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work because he's going to be looking for a shot when he should be passing it.
Well, in like Steph Curry's case, he's looking to pass.
That sounds like
instead of
Michael
shooting.
Jordan. That sounds like Michael Jordan.
That's why he's an anomaly, and it worked for him.
Try to hit Jordan with it.
All right, Rob, what you think?
I felt like, they didn't give Jermichael Green as much playing time that they did last time, to where the offense actually ran the better system last game, and
he also
I felt like
making shots like he was in game 2.
Yeah,
depend on Jermichael Green to give you 15 for
He
the
was 0 for 3 from 3-point land yesterday. He was 0 for 3.
Yeah, that is true. And I felt like the Lakers actually did like how they started out the game. They were running at it. They controlled the pace at the beginning and everything, and they let the game. They actually controlled the game more than playing the Golden State game.
Yeah, they definitely. That's what LeBron James. He wants to slow down the offense, take up as much 24 of the shot clock, and when Golden State was down, they're trying to hurry up and hit that home run, and they just couldn't make the threes like they did at home.
He's finally realized he's 38 and not 28, and you ain't got to be running up and down the court.
He did hustle on that one play though. That one play where he knocked the ball out of bounds. That was.
Oh yeah, and he jumped across the crowd.
I want to shout out y'all boy for one thing that he did though. He came back to the team and he ain't trying to take over. He fit his role in, bro. He ain't take over the team because he understand like, I'm too old. I can't carry like that no more. But also he understand the team was on a roll and fitting the system, and I'm gonna run the offense with everybody. I'm gonna run the offense. I'm right here. So I tip my hat to LeBron for that though. They're telling me that he want to win.
All right, Travis, it's your turn. You got to defend Stephen Curry. Everybody here feels Stephen Curry's not really a true point guard, or at least an effective point guard.
I ain't say that. I just said he ain't top 10. Not yet.
No, I'm saying, but you basically saying we all think that Draymond Green makes that offense work. He works better with Stephen Curry off the ball. So what do you think about that?
I mean, if the argument's like between him and Magic is like who's the better facilitator, then I agree completely. Magic all day. I don't think Curry is straight up the best point guard ever because, like you said, he's more of a shooting guard. But like if you're just talking about straight up player, I think he's at least as good as Magic and like
a better player than
better player.
Magic
Yeah,
in your mind, basically.
Yeah, and plus he has like you can argue that he has like at least as much earned hardware as Magic. Magic played with a top 3 player for half of his career, and I mean you can say that too. And like also Magic lost 2 Finals MVPs to players on his own team. Like, come on now, like you can't use that argument against Curry.
Curry did too.
And so, I mean, but yeah, you can. I wouldn't. That's not like a huge like pushing point for me. If someone wants to put Magic above Curry, I don't really care. I just think there's a great argument behind either way. But I agree with you. The Warriors need to figure out because Curry is not looking to pass first, not looking to like kind of, facilitate as much to be LeBron is, and I think that's what worked in game 2, where he was a little bit more of a passer. They need to like do a lot more high low ball screens with him, like as he's coming up court. Like he can't, because they're just gonna double him because they don't respect half the roster out there at any given time. Green is no longer just ever looking for a shot, and he was like 5-6 years ago. Peyton sucks. Who they got out there? Poole's taking like wild up Allen's threes. He's not attacking the hoop because they think AD is going to send it back. And I don't blame them. They really don't need to give the refs any more excuses to call like 20 or 30 more free throws per game for the Lakers, because what do they got, like 50 more free throws than Lakers other than the fucking Warriors by this point in 3 games? It's ridiculous.
Well, Draymond Green tried to do some crazy spin drive yesterday that really looked like okay, like you could tell
he
he
hit
had
like
desperation.
almost the top of
Man,
the
that shit
backboard.
hit the top of the backboard.
Whoa.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's hurting them, because now that I'm thinking about Stephen Curry, right, and his situation as a ball facilitator and being that point guard, that small guy that can shoot, that's kind of why people like Damian Lillard and Westbrook have an issue, because you know what, they actually need that secondary facilitator. Like Iverson had that. He had Eric Snow. It worked well for them, because when Iverson needed to be Iverson, he didn't have the ball up to bring it up the court. You can set up plays for him. And I think that's what they need to do. I mean, Draymond Green is still good at it, but the problem is that no one sticks Draymond Green. So if Draymond Green's bringing the ball up the floor, it's like
it ain't really hurt them as much until this series, because no one has an Anthony Davis on their squad. And
that's true. That's true.
That's the reason that it's hurting them, because before that wasn't really a problem. Steph never had to bring the ball up and play the point guard. It's not until this series where they're just not guarding them.
Ain't no reason to. You ain't giving nobody a reason to.
We keep telling y'all that's why it's important to be a shooter in today's NBA. That's why you guys don't understand why big men like Embiid and Joker and all these guys are outside shooters, and even Anthony Davis. I still think the Lakers are forcing things with Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis is better as a mid-range shooter than this post-up thing and this little pick and roll thing that they're doing, dumping little things to the ground to him. Because I'm like, why y'all bouncing it to the ground? Throw it up. Nobody on that team can jump.
He's bouncing it so low and turning the ball. It's driving me crazy.
It's driving me crazy. I'm like, they be in the paint. They be getting turnovers like that when they try to throw it real low in the paint and it be crowded down there.
Yeah, I get it when Looney's on the floor, because Looney could actually, stop Anthony Davis from getting the alley. But when Looney's not on the floor, you got to throw it up for Anthony Davis. They're still trying to
might get hurt jumping that high.
Yeah, true. He's gonna become street clothes again.
If Anthony Davis comes street, it's over with, boy.
All right, so SB brought up this thing about LeBron fitting in, and earlier this week, Chris Broussard stated that LeBron James will have at least 8 titles if he tried to fit in and not try to run the offense. So my personal belief is he tried to fit in with the Heat. So he didn't really run that offense like people thought he did, as much as they thought he did. In Cleveland, he ran the offense, but if he tried to fit into those offense the first go around, I don't think they win many games. The second time around with Kyrie, I think they would have just won as far as they want. Especially in 2015, if he tried to fit in with that finals, they'll probably get swept. 2016, him and Kyrie tag team, and when they got Kevin Durant, there was really nothing that LeBron could do. With the Spurs, like I said, he tried to fit in. He didn't dominate the ball as much as he did later in his career. So, Johnny, what would you think about if he would have won 8 titles, if he would have just fit in?
Nonsense, pure nonsense. Okay, because LeBron James, I think Gilbert Arenas said it the best. We've never really seen LeBron James for LeBron James. LeBron James has always had to play the game in a sense to win titles. His whole career is based on winning. He has to win. So he's always predicated his game on what it takes to win the game. That's what he's always been able to do. He's never been able to be selfish. So even when we talk about him in Miami, which is a perfect example, he catered to Miami. When he went to Cleveland, he catered to Kyrie. It took about a year or two, but after 2016, in 2017, Kyrie took the most shots per game on that team. So it's not like LeBron doesn't never adjust. LeBron could always adjust. That's what we always tell you. He's the greatest player to play. He can actually do a lot. In fact, they were losing yesterday because LeBron wasn't taking no shots. They were just running their offense. D'Lo was hot. As soon as LeBron took over the offense in the second quarter, what happened? Everything went into play. everybody got their shots. Everything was functioning well. They started playing even better because once the Lakers start scoring, their half court defense is too much for the Warriors. So at the end of the day, LeBron James can do whatever he wants to do. He can be your scorer. He could be your facilitator. He can do all of that. But he's always had to play to win. So he's in his scenario, nobody's the better facilitator in his whole career. You can't name one guy he's played with that you would say, okay, let this guy be the dominant ball facilitator. There's not one. Besides Rondo, maybe Rondo, and that's why they won a championship. He stepped back too. Then
yes, all right, SB, you think LeBron would have won 8 finals if he would have just
because I'm so looking back at it because I'm trying to look at all the opponents because LeBron first run, he was a system. I think one my boy A Weezy always say this, like LeBron has always been the system at his peak. And it was at a point in time now he's old, he cannot be the system. He gotta try to join the system like how like Kobe, Duncan, and all the other greats did. And they had to be a part of a team system. But I don't think he could have been 8 like when 8. I don't know what 8 he think he would have won. I don't necessarily see it. Because with the first championship with the Heat, he took a back seat. The early championship with the Cavaliers, that first run, Young Bron, was nice, but he was the system with that situation. And when nobody else really they could do too much against the Spurs with Duncan. Then I guess who they beat, the young OKC Thunder. LeBron had to be the guy again to be over the top of that young team. That young team wasn't ready yet. Then he go back and play the Spurs. I think if he played his role in the system, I believe they lose because he had to take it over the top. And I'm just looking at all the matchups. Even with the Warriors, he had to be one of the best. He had to be the best player in the series every time. So I don't necessarily see. I want if you have had a clip of that, you can send it to me. I want to know what finals are he talking about? What he could have won playing.
Yeah, he actually never said. He said he talked to some Hall of Famers and said if LeBron wasn't so ball dominant and fit in, he would have won at least 8 titles.
I can't necessarily 100% say that.
LeBron has never had the team to be able to be selfish like that and not be ball dominant. He's never had a team to where he can play like that. So I don't. Chris Broussard be saying some crazy ass shit sometimes.
No, he had teams, but they just built around his play style because he's a great decision maker.
I was just about to say that. I mean, if you ball dominant, you need to have off the ball players. So of course you're not gonna have a facilitator.
I think they just want LeBron James to be like the traditional small forward and be like a scorer and be all ball. But it's like if he the best decision maker on your team and the best scorer, he's just gonna have to do both. And that's what we see with all great players, that if you had the ability to do that. Because if we go to the Cavaliers, who I'm trusting, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James, I'm picking LeBron James. D Wade, Mario Chalmers, I'm picking LeBron James. Like you said, the Rondo move was cool. You could trust Rondo, and I believe that if LeBron
Rondo
probably
was older, he was.
And he's old.
No, but you can still trust Rondo at that time.
Yeah, you can trust Rondo.
15, 20 minutes a game. That's the rest LeBron don't have to do. You know
if Rondo was on the Heat,
really.
If Rondo was on the Heat, I believe LeBron probably would have trusted him. Like he was a good enough playmaker, he could trust with it. He has an IQ like LeBron, but I don't think like who else you gonna ask to do the job? I don't think he never had that guy.
We also did see LeBron try to fit in 2011 and see how that worked.
No, he tried to be Scotty. He tried to
fit in. I felt like if he was aggressive more on the offensive end, that would have been a different outcome.
He didn't want to step on D Wade toes. That's what it was, though.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was D Wade.
Now, if he was in Cleveland and they would have came to Cleveland, it'd been a different story. But he didn't want to step on D Wade toes. He didn't want to take over Wade County.
What you think, Craig?
No, he won no 8 straight titles. I don't. Like I said, his game he need off the ball shooters. So of course you ain't gonna have facilitators that can take the ball out of his hand and facilitate. So it's never gonna work when you fit around someone like LeBron. So,
I'm glad you just said that, Craig, because remember when he first went to the Lakers, Magic Johnson tried to put LeBron James around all facilitators. And that did not work. It looked disgustingly terrible.
He put him with a bunch of 20-year-olds who were just happy to have LeBron as a teammate.
But they actually had a good record until he got hurt. Until he pulled.
Yeah, they were like.
But it wasn't no championship. There was
no type contender. Yeah, you're right. There was no.
There wasn't no title. But I'm just saying they were playing good basketball. That's what I'm saying with LeBron at that point. They were playing again. LeBron is just a versatile player. I mean, Travis, what do you think, Travis? Because you are objective about LeBron for some stakes, but do you think that he would have won more championships? Like, I guess letting Dwayne Wade be the man, or let Kyrie be the man, or more Williams?
I don't think they would have won more championships other than in 2011 because that wasn't that wasn't a situation of just him letting Wade be the man, because he actually took more shots than Wade in that series. He was just choking when it mattered,
No, he
like
didn't.
in the fourth quarter.
Dwayne Wade took
That
more
was just a
shots
total
than him.
meltdown. But I mean, he did what he could. I don't think that he could have reasonably been expected to win in 2017, 2018, because like I don't know who's beating that team. Those the Warriors teams.
Yeah.
But
Why do y'all say that? Because
yeah,
2018, Houston took them to a game 7, and so if
They
y'all
wasn't
keep
beating them. They wasn't beating them.
I mean, lightning in the bottle, man.
You can't beat the Warriors in their own system. I don't
Yeah,
care how
it's
Not only that, that Houston team was a great 3-point shooting team. They had two guys who could create and facilitate. So it's like they
what I
really
will say though is if you
they
look
were
at the
really a good
stats,
team.
if you look at the
Yeah,
stats, like a lot of
wait.
LeBron's
One thing
teammates matched
in
the production.
2011, Dwayne Wade shot more than LeBron. So
Of course he did. I know that.
yeah,
That's not.
it was
LeBron
D
didn't
Wade
shoot.
team that year.
LeBron shot
yeah,
48% in that series. He just didn't shoot. That's what people keep. Everybody keep listening to
he
Skip Bayless
let Dwayne
saying he
Wade
froze.
take
He played
over.
Scottie Pippen. It's your turn. You're the fourth quarter guy, like y'all said he should be doing. He did it, and Dwayne Wade choked. But y'all blame LeBron.
Wade didn't average 8 points in the fourth quarter, dude, or total, I should say.
Dwayne Wade was made to score and win those games in the fourth quarter. He didn't do that. That was the game plan. The game plan was for Dwayne Wade to finish the games, and Dwayne Wade didn't do that. It wasn't on LeBron to do that. He played the game
LeBron wasn't
plan.
doing anything.
That was the game plan, to facilitate, and that's what he did. Y'all ask this. What I'm saying. Y'all want LeBron to be everything, but then when he's not what he, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. Like he did
Wait,
that.
are you saying that wasn't the biggest
averages
choke job in
25
NBA
points like
history?
he did in the
No, the
season.
biggest-
That's all.
I mean, you could
Y'all
knock
really
it.
skipped
I mean,
over me.
you could knock
Oh,
it for
sorry,
it because
Ralph.
it's like it's LeBron, but I'm saying from a realistic perspective, he's not lying. Like it was D Wade team.
Yeah,
But if
D
you
Wade
want to
even
knock
said
it
it.
for and say he choked, that ain't nothing wrong with that. He should have played better.
So it's
He was
Dwayne
he
Wade's
was the
team
best
in the
player in the league.
finals, but in the season when he was putting up 25 points a game, it wasn't Dwayne's team in the season. It's only Dwayne's team in the finals.
The
Exactly.
conversation they literally had that offseason, D Wade said, for us to win, you have to be the guy. You have to take over the team. And LeBron was like, you want me to take over Wade? How can I take over the team as Wade County is your team? He said, for us to go, we need to go. You have to be the guy. I can tell that you're playing reduced to your role. Don't get me wrong, LeBron, of course, you're going to dock him because he was the best player in the league at the time. That's why I said he can't escape it. But I'm saying from an honest point of perspective, you have to be realistic. It was D Wade team that first year. You can still dock him for it. He did play bad. He can't escape that. But from a realistic perspective, it was D Wade's team that first year.
Yep.
And that
But
was
I'm just
LeBron's
saying
fifth
how
man.
it's everybody used that as that's the reason. But everybody knew that from the whole. They had a whole 82 games plus another 16 games before they reached the finals to figure it out. So
Yeah, but you
want
don't
to
play the
say
same
it's his
game playing
team
all
when you was
season like you
averaging
do in the
25. So
postseason.
now you want to say, you know what? This is your team in the finals. Let me go ahead and just drop 17 a game. And
Exactly.
No, but they did figure it out because they first of all they were winning. They lost 2 quarters. That was a fourth quarter. The game plan.
they
in
had
game
82
one,
games.
The game plan in game 1 was the same game plan for game 2 that was working the whole thing. Dwayne Wade was destroying them. And then they got to the fourth quarter. The Mavs went on that run in game 2. Dwayne Wade went out and said that I have to be the leader of the team and show my team how to win. Before game 3, they go out in game 3. Dwayne Wade shows up. They beat Dallas on the same game plan. They go into game 4 with that same game plan to let Dwayne Wade win us this championship. He's going to lead us. He's going to be the leader for this series. He's going to do this. He's done it before. That's what y'all always say. That's what Dwayne Wade is. That's why he's better than Pippen.
And then
That's what he did. And then they lost because Dwayne Wade choked. Dwayne Wade started shooting up threes because he wanted to win, like Brandon said, the Finals MVPs, jacking up a bunch of bad shots, trying to match Jason Terry and Dirk Nowitzki instead of playing their game. We can go back to the footage. We can have this conversation all day.
And you gotta remember the Heat didn't start off good when they first got together that first year.
And then game 5 and game 6, LeBron James took over, but it was already too late. Dallas was already in their run and their momentum. They had the system going.
It wasn't no stopping Dirk, and Dirk was cooking the Heat.
Ralph, go ahead, Ralph. So go ahead, Ralph. So what do you think about us talking about LeBron James being able to adapt, not being the system, but he has the ability to adapt?
I feel like at times he has certain moments to where he could have, like, when he had a facilitator, I mean, Westbrook is a facilitator as well. He could have adapted, and I felt like they probably could have been better than what they were. Like not making the playoffs, I feel like if he would have adapted to where put the ball in Westbrook's hands more, they would have made at least the playoffs.
Everybody was hurt too, so that's
You
kind of
made
different.
the worst shoot on your team off ball.
I agree with Ralph, though. I agree, Ralph. We talked about this before this season started, and we talked about it at the end of the season. I always thought that for the sake of Westbrook, it wasn't really for LeBron. Because, like I said, LeBron could play off the ball. But for the sake of Westbrook, to have the Westbrook that the Lakers wanted, they had to give him the ball more, and they just weren't doing that. Vogel couldn't do it. And I guess Ham knew they were going to trade him, so he was not going to even go that route. But I don't know.
It was really his play. He was not being effective with no shooters around him.
He wasn't.
It wasn't no shooters around him.
That's true too. This year they had no shooters. Last year they were injured. So
shooters. You can't put Westbrook in an offense with no one. If LeBron James is your best shooter, you're not going to be successful.
Oh, hold on.
Simple as that.
That is true because LeBron James is not really a great shooter from the outside, so we all know that. So
they put this thing together.
Well, he's not a great shooter, period. So
I mean, if LeBron's your best three-point shooter, you're not going to win too many games.
A great shooter from the outside shoots very well from the outside. LeBron doesn't shoot very well. He's not bad. He's not horrible, but he's not
streaky.
Great.
How you think the Spurs beat him all the time? They made him a jump shooter. They took his paint.
No, they beat him all the time. Listen, they beat him in 2014, not because LeBron didn't have a jumper in 2014. They beat him in 2007 because of that. In 2007, he didn't have it then. He wasn't consistent then, but in 2014, LeBron was killing him.
2013 and 14,
he was killing him. He didn't have a problem shooting no balls, man. LeBron doesn't have a problem shooting. You gotta stop that. We've been through this before. Don't get the expose out.
In what series? LeBron was a dominant shooter. In what series?
No, I'm not saying he's a dominant. I said
he wasn't.
I didn't say he's not a bad. He's not a bad shooter.
He's a decent shooter.
Yeah, he learned to shoot the ball. He's been hitting mid-range jumpers.
There's plenty of series you can go look up now. After 2007, he destroyed the team by shooting jumpers and going on.
That's another conversation.
But I'm just saying that how the Spurs beat him, they were trying to make him more of a jump shooter instead of getting to the lane.
That's the only way to beat him. Yeah, you can't let him hit the hole.
Because you can't have LeBron playing like Kobe. He's your facilitator. So LeBron's not just going to jack up every shot because you're giving it to him. That's not going to win the game. I have to get my other players involved. I have to get Chalmers the ball. I have to get Norris Cole the ball. That's my job.
Good jump shooter.
That's because he is a good jump shooter. He can hit
not a good jump shooter.
He's gonna listen. Y'all don't say that about Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson. All these players shoot the same amount as LeBron does.
I mean, I ain't gonna say D Wade is
in fact,
it really depends on what quadrants they're shooting from too.
In fact, the NBA average outside of 3 feet is under 40%. So at the end of the day, LeBron James is not there. That's the NBA average. Yes, it is.
40. Okay, that's fine. LeBron under that.
I know LeBron's under that. That's what I'm telling you. He's not, but he's not bad. He's up there with Tracy McGrady.
The league is bad.
Your interpretation of the stat is bad. Shooting 40% outside of the line is obviously average. You don't understand the stat.
He's under league average.
You think people shoot 45% outside of 3 feet? That doesn't exist. That's what you guys think.
Nah, under league average is not good.
Huh?
He shoots under league average.
And there's a lot of people who shoot under league average.
And it's not good. And it's not good. They're not good. They're not good.
The league average is still low because they take mostly threes.
If you're under league,
Jordan shoots under league average outside of 3 feet. Yes, he does. The number says he does. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Which
you only hold on from mid range. You only have the stats from 96. 96, 90, 95, 96, all the way up to 2003. You only have 4 years. And he even shot above league average within that time.
I didn't say mid-range. I said outside of 3 feet, Ralph. You have to count everything.
Outside
of 3 feet. The NBA shoots under 40%, and Michael Jordan shoots about 38%. He is bad. He is under the league average. He is under the league. If you count his 3-point shooting, his mid-range shooting, if you count anything outside of 3 feet, Michael Jordan shoots under 40% from that fail with the counting what we have to count. And he was one of the best mid-range shooters when he was late in his career, not early in his career. So that's just facts.
Well, that's
It's
You're right. It's only
we
4
don't
years.
have the data. We don't have the data
Okay,
for his
you're right. You
earlier
can say
years.
that. Okay, so
we can't say that.
but with the data available, LeBron James is not a bad shooter.
He,
Yeah.
That's just facts.
no.
That's just, I mean, facts the way you want to portray them. So
No,
Yeah.
that is your problem.
From the mid range, he's above league average. From 3-point range, he's under league average. Yes.
So Michael Jordan's a bad 3-point shooter.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to say that, yeah.
We didn't say that. I never said that. I'm just asking you.
I can say that, yeah.
Michael Jordan is a below average 3-point shooter, especially compared
Which is
to
bad.
the slightly better percentage in today's game. But if we're talking about the three different quadrants that compose the mid-range game, he shot, 42% for his career?
40.
Which is
44%.
way higher than league average and way higher than LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, but
So-
I don't think nobody arguing that who is the better mid-range shooter between Jordan and LeBron. I don't think that's a debate. Is Mike with that one?
The question is exactly. We're talking about the outside of 3 feet. Because LeBron shoots better from 3-point land, but y'all don't count that.
I count that.
Okay.
He shoots a tick better, yes, because both of them shoot under league average, but
He's the
LeBron
better
shoots
bad.
better.
Sometimes but percentage don't
shoots
fully
better.
tell the
Yeah.
but percentage don't fully tell the full story because everybody got Curry as the greatest shooter of all time. He don't lead the league in all-time percentage. You know?
Yeah, you got to look at the
They don't look
difficulties.
into it.
I get it.
It's like I think Kobe shoot better than both of them, but his gun mentality hurts his percentages. But you could dock him for it, but I think that's what hurt Kobe. Because I think Kobe shoot better than Mike and LeBron, but that gun mentality, his percentages look lower than what they actually could be.
I think if they
I mean, Clay shoots better than Steph in the playoffs, so that
I
doesn't
think
mean
honestly, if you talk about pure shooting alone, I think Clay is a better pure shooter. But since
nobody say Steph. I mean, Clay the best shooter of all time.
I mean,
though.
Klay Thompson shoot 38% from mid-range this year. Nobody calls him a bad
You gotta
mid-range
mind you,
shooter.
Clay is 6'7", so he can get a shot up over opponents than a 6'3" Steph can.
But he can't create shots like Steph. That's why Steph is the better shooter. But if we just saying standstill pure shooting, I think Clay is a better shooter than Steph. But with Steph's ability to create shots, Steph gonna get.
I think Stephen Curry's 3-point shooting is better than all those guys. Besides the guys who have minimal 3-point shooting like Curry and them, but all these guys that you guys talking about, if we gave it like a minimal of a certain amount of threes, Stephen Curry shoots like 42%. That's better than all those guys.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
41%.
It's the volume.
Threes is better than 50% attempting 3.
It's like when we look at Steph, it's because of the volume he takes, the high clip that he takes, the difficulty. That's what a lot of people really look at and deem him the best shooter.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
My bad.
I
His
think
career
Damian
3-point shooting is 42.8, so he shoots 43%.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. That
For
is
the same for his volume.
For the amount of volume.
For the amount of volume he shoot, that is ridiculous, bro.
Yes.
So that is better than someone who's 50% attempting 4 threes a game.
Oh, 100%.
No, of course. No, that's what we're saying.
That's
so
true.
and
that's why I said we got to put context on the percentage because you can't just say because nobody got Steve Kerr say Steve Kerr is the greatest shooter. No, nobody gonna do that.
No.
Somebody did.
Only LeBron
Somebody
did. No.
Because that's why like sometimes like you always got to put context on everything. I was arguing with I don't know if it's BJ or Johnny about that. Like you would call. I think LeBron James has the highest basketball IQ, but he got the most turnovers all the time. But nobody ain't gonna say he a bad decision maker with the ball. And nobody gonna say you'll be idiotic to say that.
He a turnover king.
That's why longevity stats don't really matter.
He can't dribble or something. Like turnovers being dribbling. So they say
he do some bad. Don't do that. He be throwing them bad passes. Don't do that.
I'm not saying ball handling. Like turnovers do not mean ball handling. You get turnovers in so many different ways.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah.
What's it called? If we go to top 10, these are the top 10 3-point percentages of all time. Steve Kerr's number 1 at 45%. Hubert Davis is second at 44%. Petrovic is at 43%.
Those are 90s players. Oh,
yeah.
snap.
Then we get current players. Joe Harris is 4th with 43% as well. Luke Kennard is at 43%. Seth Curry. So Stephen Curry's brother is at 43% as well.
Running the blood.
Capono is 7th with 43%.
Jason?
Yeah, Jason Capono, the Miami Heat guy. He was a beast from the 3-point land. But those guys were catch shoot guys.
Who
Most of
won
these
the
guys are
three-point
catch and shoot.
contest?
Most of these guys are catch and shoot guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve Novak is ninth. I'm sorry. Tim Legler is 8th with 43. Then Steve Novak. Then Kyle Korver. Then Steve Nash. Then Stephen Curry. So Stephen Curry's 12th all time. But
So that list means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, all those players we just mentioned though before Stephen Curry, none of them could shoot off the dribble like Stephen Curry.
Yeah, and those guys, like almost none of those guys were volume shooters except for Steph.
Maybe Nash. Nash is the only one you can debate that Nash.
Yeah, Nash.
That's it.
Yeah, Nash.
I'm glad y'all used the eye test and not the stats to say Steph is better than 12 people whose percentage is better than him.
It ain't the eye test. You got to do contact with the attempts and value.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, you know who's right after
because
Stephen Curry?
totals.
He picking with Johnny.
You know who's after Stephen Curry? BJ Armstrong. BJ Armstrong. Michael Jordan got 2 teammates in the top 15 in 3-point percentage shooting for their careers.
Is that what we doing?
I'm just pointing out something that I just found out. That's all.
The Bulls, the greatest teams of all.
I guess that's why I'm the greatest hater of Jordan in the group, right? Did you guys vote? Which one of you guys voted for that? Anyone you guys vote on the survey?
I sure did, and I voted you.
That's tough.
It's either you or
Brandon don't be like Brandon will just come back and forth with the comments. Yo, you go to the extreme. You make videos and everything. Brandon's not gonna be doing that.
Now, Lee be slick with it because he put it on the slides.
First of all,
slides.
all of our popular and most driven content on Michael Jordan is created by Brandon. As of right now, on our TikTok, our #1 post was created by Brandon.
Oh, yeah. Brandon just post some bullshit.
Put only facts. I'll put facts out.
That's not my facts.
Everything I put out is facts.
He goes to stats when it's LeBron and Jordan. Then he goes to hardware when it's Pippen and Wade. And then he goes.
The goalpost moves every time.
LeBron got more than Jordan too. So I don't have to lie about that.
I'm officially personally hurt by you guys. I don't know why you guys put me as the #1 hater of Michael Jordan in the group. I don't know why I got that. It is not fair. Okay,
because every time you went to go buy sneakers, it was sold out.
The funny thing is, I'm the one who posts about Jordan all the time.
Thank you. I literally do. I post more about LeBron.
But here's the thing, Brandon. I know personally because I'm on TikTok and SB is too. The videos we see, it's all of Johnny. It's all of Johnny. Am I lying, SB?
No, because I run a TikTok page. I am in charge of the TikTok page. That's my job. I do the TikTok page and the Instagram page. And
I noticed that Brandon is wanting part of this GOAT debate last couple Sundays here.
Yeah, Brandon does Facebook and Twitter for us, and obviously YouTube as well. So we share YouTube. We both try to drop videos on YouTube. But Brandon makes the Jordan videos, and you guys call me the hater. I don't like that. It's not right. It's not right.
Well, hey, you're the spokesperson.
Brandon tries to be objective here, but not on Facebook. So
you gotta push the agenda. You gotta push
the agenda. Listen, we are trolls are the biggest trolls when it comes to LeBron James fans. We can troll with the best of y'all. You guys know that. But there's other couple surveys, right? Because I was considered the biggest LeBron sexual, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, out of the group. So y'all, everything was me. I won everything.
You and Zane.
I want everything. I'm personally hurt by you guys. I don't understand this. I don't know why you guys.
Don't worry, Johnny. We'll keep exposing you to make you feel better.
Well-deserved award. You deserve
it. Well, listen. I was told in a comment. I actually had a comment. I was going to send it to Brandon. I was told that I'm the final boss of LeBron sexuals. That once you guys defeat all LeBron sexuals, you must face me at the end for you to get your coins or whatever it is you have to get at the end of everything.
Dude, that's Zayden Tane.
Okay, but let's be honest though. Why is not having Michael Jordan the GOAT considered hating Michael Jordan? Why is that a problem? Why like Chris Broussard was mad that Nick Wright had Jordan third. He was like, Jordan's not the second greatest player of all time. He's not the third greatest player of all time. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Like, why is it so offensive to just say Michael Jordan?
It's an easy question to answer.
Go ahead.
Because y'all do the same thing on LeBron. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, LeBron and Jordan fans, y'all do the same thing. Y'all act just alike.
I'm gonna say
y'all
this.
Act just alike.
Let me say
Robin and Travis, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. If you have Jordan or LeBron outside of 2, I'm not having a conversation with you. Like I've disagreed with some that has LeBron at 5th. I've seen somebody that had Jordan at 7. Like that's not even a conversation to have. If you have those two top two, hey, we can have a discussion. I'm intrigued of the
Kareem
conversation.
above
But
LeBron.
Yeah.
I really,
I
I'm not mad at you for doing that.
I have Wilt in front of Jordan, but you don't have Wilt on your top 10 at all. So
That's
we
now
even.
that's
So we're
that's
even.
that,
Nah.
that's crazy.
But go ahead.
Foolishness.
I don't
Go
have
ahead,
Will.
go ahead,
No.
go ahead, Travis. What you was gonna say? So why
Okay.
is not having Jordan?
If you're looking to rank players and you're ranking them off of just you pick and choose certain parts of their career, then that's garbage. Jordan has the most complete resume of all time. Like, bar none. He leads in most advanced per game stats. He has 6 rings, 6 MVP or 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs. He destroyed, like, he's highest points per game ever. He checks the defensive question or box with 9 first team, which is tied for their record. DPOY. Not only was he the best two-way player of all time, he has all the hardware accolades to back it up. The only argument that you're going to use for, let's say, Kareem or LeBron is based on longevity stats. Nothing else matters. But then you're going to not keep that same energy when talking about longevity stats because someone like John Stockton isn't your GOAT. And he leads in 2 all-major all-time categories. So that's why you can't use that shit. And again, Mike has the most complete resume ever. Is he perfect? No. There's not a perfect player that you can point to that doesn't have like a flaw in the resume, obviously. And you know, you can't say, oh, he needed this guy, needed that guy, because that goes where everybody across the board. But most complete resume ever, objectively, is Mike. Maybe Kareem.
I can say why LeBron better than Jordan without using any longevity. Can Jordan go to any team and make it a title contender, and y'all expect him to win like y'all do that for LeBron at every team he goes to?
That's not objective.
Can Jordan do everything on the court like LeBron can?
Yes.
No, he cannot.
Objectively, Jordan's not the GOAT.
He can.
Objectively,
Jordan
Travis,
cannot play 1 through 5.
Travis, you
Jordan
cannot
is not
create-
going to guard 1 through 5. Jordan is not going to go into a team.
See, this has nothing to do with their resumes.
And make them a title contender. Jordan
You
is not
cannot.
doing it.
Hold on. Listen. Aaron, he's right. What you're doing is subjective, right? Because there's no way to measure that. I'm going to completely say this, and I've asked all of you to do this. Please show me a criteria that Michael Jordan is actually the most complete in. Because the things that you just mentioned, Michael Jordan's only number 1 in points per game, and even at that, he's tied with Wilt Chamberlain. He only has the most Finals MVPs. What else is Michael Jordan resumes complete? Like if you go to Bill Russell,
he has the most complete overall resume. It's not just about one thing, which is what you just tried to do.
So does Bill Russell.
No, he doesn't.
So does Kareem.
Yes, he does.
Kareem
Yes, he
too.
does. What is Bill Russell missing?
So Bill Russell doesn't have nearly the offensive accolades that Mike does. He doesn't have even close to the
offense accolades.
What offense
accolades?
Scoring titles, points per game, advanced stats in any direction. He obviously, I give Bill a break because a couple of the awards didn't exist back then, such as DPOY. But and I'm not sure if all first team existed back then. But again, that's like an outlier.
It's like,
but Mike
Jordan
has whatever box you want to check. It's Mike.
But Jordan doesn't have the rebounds, so that doesn't count.
What? He's a guard. Why would you say? Why would you measure him like? Oh, he needs to rebounds.
But why are you measuring Bill Russell off of how many scoring titles he has? He's not going to score like Michael Jordan. He's not going to take that many shots.
He is the alpha on that team. Why wouldn't you score?
Huh?
He wasn't the main. He wasn't the primary
just because you're the alpha, you don't have to be the primary scorer. That's what you guys forget to realize. Just because scoring does not make
the object of the game is to score, to have the most points at the end of the game.
What?
So why is the guy who averaged half as less as Michael Jordan won twice as much as Michael Jordan?
Because there were 8 teams and he had the best team.
This team had the end most points at the end of the game.
Now it's a score.
So now it's not
other
scoring.
players that can. He had other players that was able to score.
Yeah, so now Bill Russell is hard to talk about.
All I know is I never seen a team that had more rebounds.
Bill Russell completely destroys everything that you say about Michael Jordan.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
How?
Everything, because he has the same amount of MVPs. Every accolade that was available at that time, Bill Russell won. He was able to win every. And if we want to talk about anything, Wilt Chamberlain won every accolade. He won a scoring title, an assist title, a rebounding title. Jordan don't have that. He don't have none of that.
He couldn't do it in the winning aspect though.
He won 2 championships out of
Exactly.
14
LeBron
seasons.
can.
How is
With
he
a
not winning?
losing record.
And mind you,
LeBron can.
he retired. Wilt Chamberlain retired with the 2 best season records from 2 separate teams.
Okay. How
And
many
then
rings does Will have?
He has 2. That's what I'm saying. You going
Last
back to
one to the
the rings.
rings is going to be Bill Russell. Yeah.
It goes back to Bill Russell.
Again,
That's what I'm saying.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying
Wilt Chamberlain's
complete resume.
Two
Jordan does not
championships
have the best complete
completes
resume.
Wilt Chamberlain's career. He has 2 of them and a Finals MVP.
I mean, for one thing, LeBron has a more complete resume than Michael
Let's not
Jordan.
even go
Like,
there.
I don't,
Let's not even go there.
I don't
Let's
see
not
And it's
even
not
talking
even
about a
about
complete resume.
the rings. It's like really. Let's just
I agree.
like.
It's about everything.
I mean, I'm just
And
saying,
Jordan
like,
doesn't
for
have
LeBron
like
does better
every
than
year,
Jordan doesn't have
every year
everything.
Jordan played in the
So,
league.
Johnny, let me ask you a question. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So, I think I asked this to you maybe the other day, but I'm not sure if it was you.
Mhm.
So, if I come up to you and I say, "Hey, Johnny, you're an NBA owner.
Mhm.
Okay, here's 2 players I can see into the future. Here's going to be their career. One's going to play for 15 years. Let's be objective and say LeBron plays for 21 years. Okay, you don't know their names, and I say this guy has 6 rings as the alpha, 5 MVPs regular season, 6 Finals MVPs. He beats player B in every advanced stat. He beats him in all first team selections. Scores more than him. Rebounds and assists are pretty close, but player B beats him in that. He is going to beat him in, again, overall accolades, etc. Player B, and he's also going to win more rings for your franchise. Player B will surpass him in all-time points. Again, he's playing 6 more seasons at least, and he's going to beat him in assists and rebounds. But you see their overall resume here. Without knowing the names, who are you picking?
LeBron James.
Hold up. Let me ask you this question, Travis. You were
Okay.
saying that player A, player B. What if you said player C will have 11 titles? Which one would you pick?
But nothing else?
Yes,
He
he
gonna be
has
the
11
best.
titles.
He gonna be one of the
don't
best
need-
defensive rebounders and defenders you ever had.
You don't need to hear nothing else.
In
He has
history.
11 titles. Which one would you pick?
In 13 years.
Which one would you pick?
I'm picking the dude that's
If the only thing that it said was 11 titles,
I mean,
then I would
Like,
assume that guy is the
severity
best.
behavior is
Let's stop
ridiculous.
this. Let's stop this. Hold on, wait. Let's stop this now because you guys.
Oh, you
gotta
said it's an
stop this
owner
with Bill
perspective,
Russell.
and but then also what you messed up at a point. You can't just go off the accolades. You got to put it from a perspective because with the player A, what you saying with Jordan is, I got to give you one of the best teams during your era, and I also got to put a system around you to help you win. But player B, you could probably put him in any situation, and you might
Exactly.
have a good chance to win. You got to
That's why I
add.
say
That's what I
LeBron
said. You
James.
can't just say awards, and then just say this player better. You got to put context to everything.
We're gonna do this because we're gonna add the C,
I mean,
right? Let's do
He objectively
player
was
C.
better.
No, let's go do
I
player
mean,
C.
objectively, yeah, you can
Oh, wait.
argue it.
Player C is going to give you 11 championships in 13 years. He's going to give you 5 MVPs. He's going to give you 11 All NBAs. He's going to give you the greatest defender of all time. He's going to give you 4 rebounds. He's going to give you 12 All Stars. He's going to be second in rebounding all time. He's going to average a double-double. He's going to average 15 and 22 for his career.
And he's been the best player on every level he played.
If you're talking about that, then I go back to what SB just said. He needed the perfect system. He had like 8 other Hall of Famers playing with him, and
he
only
was
8 teams.
He was
Jordan
the
needed
system.
the system.
Bill Russell wouldn't
Bill
start
Russell-
in today's game.
Bill Russell was the system.
I wouldn't say that.
Bill
I mean,
Russell
he
was
gonna
the
have
system.
the advancements. His skill set gonna be way better. Like
Bill Russell was the system. There was no system without Bill Russell.
the fast
Dude,
break.
take anyone from today's game, any star, and they win the same amount as Bill Russell in that. Dude,
Travis,
Not
you're
necessarily.
really
Can't say
trying to
that.
make an
Can't say that.
argument that 6 is so superior than 4 that you would pick 6, but somehow you wouldn't pick 11. That's
I didn't just say it was only because of rings.
What's your name again, bro?
Travis.
Travis. Okay, so now let's do player C. Player C, he gonna play for 20 plus years. He gonna be a 19-time All-Star. He gonna get 2 scoring titles. He gonna have 4 blocks. He gonna win. He gonna have 6 championships, 6 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs. Every level he played basketball, he was the greatest player ever. He gonna have one of the greatest shots ever. Then when he end his career, he gonna lead the league with all-time points. I believe he ended his career with all-time rebounds. So and you go get multiple.
He
You
was
go
third in rebounds.
He was
Third
and
in
he was
rebounds.
and he was first in blocks. He was
First in blocks. There you go. He
Third in
go
rebounds.
first in blocks, first in
Yeah.
points. He gonna get you 6 MVPs. He gonna get you 11 all-time defensive championships, a double-double machine, and majority of his career gonna be the best player in the league. Who you gonna take out of all the players that you said now?
That's Kareem, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, if you have Kareem first or second, I'm not mad.
How come we
You
use
were-
context for Jordan but no context for player C? You didn't mention that he played with Magic for those championships.
He didn't mention that he played with Pippen either.
Oscar
You didn't say
Robertson.
Pippen. I use this
And we
context.
go, and then
He
also
played-
we
he
got to
played
look
in
at
the
during the time he
expansion era.
dominated
When
the
you
70s.
mentioned
and
Jordan, it was
the
always
Lakers era.
context. But every other player that you didn't, there was no context.
No.
mentioned.
The point was
You
I
didn't
used this
mention
as
LeBron
listen.
decided
Craig,
to say, "Hey, let's
Craig, the
go
whole
take
point-
a pay cut
Now,
to
Craig,
go
the
play
whole
together."
point was that I used
So,
his example because
here's some context for you.
Going off just no,
Hold on,
look,
hold on,
listen.
hold on.
Hold on, no, wait.
Good job,
Craig, the
Craig.
reason why I use his example because if you go off the way he did it, Kareem is the
But
greatest.
y'all
basketball
brought up
player
the
of all time.
context
No,
because of
listen,
Jordan.
No, Craig, listen.
He didn't bring up no context.
I use his point to prove my point because if you go off that perspective, Kareem is no question the greatest player of all time. He got everything that Jordan got that you want and the total accolades like LeBron got. But you got to put context to everything. And then if you want to put context with Kareem, he came in there with one of the best scoring stat pad point guards who couldn't win and gave him a championship within his second year. Then he went to the Lakers and turned them back to a championship contender team.
No,
and y'all
Magic
get
did because there was
no, it
without
wasn't.
Magic, it was-
Kareem was the best player on the team. Y'all get Magic credit because he got hurt for like 2 games, and y'all think he played center and he didn't.
but
he
he
didn't.
missed the playoffs with.
That's fair.
Okay.
I got another resume. Go
And
ahead, Ralph.
SB also
No,
SB, you got to put it to context when Kareem played in the 70s. That was the weakest era.
Like we're just
control
putting
who you
resumes up. We're just putting the resumes up just like he did with Jordan and LeBron. He just put the resumes up.
I got another resume for you, right? I got somebody who's number 1 in points. He's tied number 1 in points. He's number 1 in rebounds per game, right? But he also has 13 All-Star. That's 30.1. It's 30.1. Listen, he has 13 All-Stars. He has what is it? Let me see here. He has where it is. Where's this all NBA selection? He has 10 all NBA selections. He has 2 all defensive selections. He has 11 rebounding titles. He has 7 scoring titles. He has an assist title. He has an all-star MVP, rookie of the year. Finals MVP. This is Wilt Chamberlain, 2-time champion.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. That's why I say you got to put the.
But
See,
that
you can
adds
say
up.
you can pick him. You don't. You. That's what I'm. And he gonna say he gonna average 50 a year for you, 50 and 20. You gonna take him. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily to say
Face value, yeah.
Jordan,
You can't just look at what
I look at it as
on the
what they
paper.
did per season. There was no one who was doing what Jordan was doing when he was doing it. That's why he's a lot of things he
And there was
accomplished.
no one
else
doing what Wilt was
accomplished.
doing neither. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you guys,
you can say
He
that.
took personal accolades and team accolades and brought it together for a season and did it multiple times.
But to be fair, because in the era that we play in now, we tell everybody's about the rings. But early in Jordan's career, when he was losing, he stacked up all those extra accolades. And then by the time he started winning, he'd already had multiple scoring titles, steal leaders.
And when he was
everything that-
winning, he was still
MVP,
getting those
defensive
same
player of the year.
accolades. So
But nobody
Yeah.
said, hey, nobody
Oh,
said,
wait.
KD, come in the league, get your accolades, and then worry about rings later. Nobody told Kobe that. Nobody told Bron that. Nobody told Wade. None of those guys.
well,
They
Jordan
you
said
get
if he was
Kareem.
worried about stats like that, he wouldn't have retired. He'd have won after the Kareem record.
Jordan wanted to win scoring titles. He said that. That's a stat.
That's-
That's
and
Okay,
that's
he
another
won
thing.
4
Ultimate
scoring
stat
titles
pattern.
without a title. He
That's
won
false.
6 scoring titles with
Jordan
with
only
a
cared
title.
about
Listen,
scoring.
But that's where the Jordan thing comes in at. Because why you guys love to talk about scoring, because again, Michael Jordan was not allowing no one else to score. In fact, bringing up what Travis
Yeah,
brought up.
nobody else to score.
Listen, he did. Listen, bringing up what Travis
Oh
brought up.
boy.
When we talk about who would you pick, Michael Jordan's first 6-7 seasons, his own team and his own owner thought he was not going to win a championship for them. They didn't think Michael Jordan's style of basketball,
Because it's a
winning
big
scores-
man's league. You need a
No,
big
it was-
man to
it had
win
no-
titles.
Jordan was a
it's-
ball hog, bro.
It had nothing to do with that. Wilt Chamberlain was set for doing the same thing, and he was a big man. The way you play the game is not made for you to just shoot the ball whenever you want, however you want, no matter what. There's a game plan that is
Jordan did.
involved. Jordan, you're giving Jordan
So he
credit.
a ball hog because he
Wait,
won 4
you
scoring
guys
titles
know
without winning a
Jordan
title.
is a ball hog because he didn't want nobody else shooting. He wanted
I'm not
to
gonna
take
call
all
him a
the
ball
shots.
hog. I'm not
No,
calling him
I
a
would
ball
say a
hog.
ball hog. You just
I would say this. This is what you guys don't understand is that Michael
Okay.
Jordan wanted to get paid in the NBA. He understood stats is how you get paid. You don't get paid for being a team player. He understood this. He wanted to get his stats. He tried to score 30-something points per game. He was going to shoot as much as he wanted to, no matter what, who was the coach, the game plan. That was Michael Jordan's style of basketball. But you guys want to give that individual style of play credit for the team, when in reality, it was the team that was great. Michael Jordan did not win championships because he was taking 25 shots per game. He won because his team had the greatest defensive team out there, and they were the most efficient team in basketball. And they were efficient because they had a lot of good shooters and good scorers outside of Michael Jordan. But you didn't see it with Michael Jordan because he kept taking all the shots.
To be fair though, but he did have to score as many points.
That's cap.
No, he didn't.
But no, both points are right. Both points are right. He did have to score. He did have to score a lot. I don't
He
believe
did
He had the
have
lowest
to.
supporting cast of any championship team in history, like twice.
That's because he took the most shots out of any. And
So
it
what?
worked. Michael Jordan shot at the rate of players who played in the 60s. You guys understand that? In the slowest pace era at his time.
There were other people taking like 19, 20 shots other than him, bro.
Michael Jordan took
Not on
27
his team.
shots in 1988. The team averaged 86 shots per game. Michael
Okay.
Jordan, that's like this. That's like going back to the times of
Okay, and in 98, in the biggest game of his career, his team scores 42 points and he scores 45 for them to win. Like,
And
it's
the team he
you
played
always going to
against-
have a positive
and
and a
the team
negative
he
with
played against
everything.
scored 45,
It's-
50 points. They
It's
couldn't
not going to work
score.
100% of the time. It's
Listen,
never going to work 100% of the time.
Michael Jordan does not need to take 27 shots for the
did
Chicago
not.
Bulls to have those 44 points. They could have got those points elsewhere.
Nah,
Michael Jordan is not
From
adding
who?
50.
Greg
From
Hodges?
who?
Come on, dude.
Okay, what game that was? Let's bring it up. What game that was? Tell me the game again, please.
Are you
A
talking about
hobble
game
Pippen?
6?
Let's bring it up. No, let's
Talking
bring
about
it up.
injured Scotty.
Let's go. No,
Yeah,
let's
because
bring it up.
like, to be honest, I believe that if LeBron didn't have to worry about facilitating the ball, I believe he'll shoot that much too, and he probably would have to on certain teams he had to be on.
It's not LeBron game though. I don't think he would shoot
Yeah.
as much as Jordan, but he would score way more than Jordan on way less shots. He definitely would do that.
I'm not mad at you for saying that.
Anybody who could shoot at 48, 49% for their career, takes 23 shots per game, could score what Michael Jordan scored. That's it.
Yep.
That's what y'all failed to realize. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Michael Jordan wasn't the only player on his team that could shoot 50%. There was other players who could do that. He was just the only one that wanted to.
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
I mean,
you act like
and
Jordan
what-
is the
in-
only player that didn't have a
in
player that had-
98, Jordan,
Everybody will have multiple teammates that have 50% scoring.
Yeah, who's scoring 50% on the Bulls while they're taking over 15 shots a game?
I would say the Bulls in the 80s.
Jordan wasn't shooting 50% in the finals in 98 with what y'all talking about. Jordan shot like what, 40%, 3%?
Jordan shot 15 of 35 in that game 6 where he scores 45 points. He's taking
That's
30
one game. Who cares?
I'm bringing up the game that he's talking about. If we go to Scottie Pippen, Tony Kukoc, he's 7 of 14. He's shooting 50% for this. That's what I'm saying. You give
So
these
two
guys,
players got majority of the
Wait,
team points.
Ron Harper's 3 of 4. Scottie
Let's
Pippen's
talk
4
about
of
passing the
7.
ball around.
He's not moving the ball. Jordan is going to jack up a bunch of shots, and the Bulls are able to win because guess what? This team can't score. They score 86 points. They can't score. They have no scores. They don't have nobody who can
score
score.
with good defense.
Oh, wait.
And
Their scores is 11 of 19, which is Karl Malone. He gives you 31 points, which is very efficient.
Also, wildly off topic.
No, it's not topic. I just told you the Bulls are winning championship because of their defense, not because Jordan's out here taking 35 shots a game.
That's not even what
was
we were
their
talking about.
defense in 94?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you guys give Jordan credit for his offensive style when it's not his offensive style that won the Bulls the championship.
Right.
He did it on both ends. It's not just Mike.
Because
His role
Jordan
with
was
the Bulls was
scoring
to
and
score.
shooting just like that before Phil Jackson came in, before Pippen, and he wasn't winning nothing. His
Well,
Jordan
thank you.
shooting and
Yeah,
scoring
yeah,
never
yeah.
changed. His system did. That's why they started winning.
And
Jordan
his job in the
was
system was to score.
I know, but they
it's a
moved
shooting guard.
but
Why are
they
we
moved
really
the ball
arguing a
around.
shooting guard
Phil Jackson
shooting?
made
Like,
Yeah,
Pippen
I-
the primary ball handler. Because
I think what we're forgetting, boys, is before Mike started.
What y'all argue with Jordan right now is like you trying to argue why LeBron making the pass in certain situations because he's a facility. That's his
no,
job.
that's not what I'm saying. Phil
Yes, you
Jackson
are.
changed the
Like, he's a
system up
shooting
because of
guard.
Jordan's play
He's-
style was not winning games. That's why Phil Jackson
didn't-
put the goddamn what was the
The
triangle
triangle.
in there, and he told Jordan to take less shots, pass the ball more, and he made Pippen the primary ball handler. Jordan still got his shots. Jordan still was saying he wanted to average 32 points. His scoring didn't diminish. They made him move the ball around and play more team ball. That's how he was able to win.
And then also, you just got to think it wasn't as many forced shots. Just the Phil Jackson system just put him in better position to score and get better shots. That's
I
really
know
how
to
it was.
stop to
This game
eliminate
didn't
Jordan for
change
taking all
dynamic.
the shots and taking his teammates
Yeah.
out of the game. That's why they moved the ball around. Even in what's that 95 when they won 55 games, the players even said that was their favorite season. The ball moved around more freely because Jordan wasn't there. They got more points. They was able to score more, and they still won 55 games.
And then
And
what
they
happened?
didn't win a championship.
Didn't
See,
win
y'all
because they
holding up
didn't
on
have
this
that.
55
They didn't have that
games. The
score.
same
They
Jordan
exact
didn't
score
even
without
win two
Jordan won
playoff games
55
before
games.
that.
But they couldn't win a
Jordan couldn't even win
championship.
2 playoff games before that.
But I'm
What
just
was
saying, bro,
Jordan?
you can't tell me you don't need 30 points a game. I'm sorry. There's no way you're gonna look at
Answer
me
this
and say
question.
that.
Answer this question. Before Phil Jackson system and Pippen came in, the primary ball handler, Jordan was putting up big ass numbers just like he was doing. What winning was he getting them?
Who did he lose to? And who was on his team? You
Detroit. He lost to Detroit. He should have
Detroit
lost to Detroit.
and
He
the
shouldn't have
Celtics.
lost to Detroit.
And who was on his team that could compete with them at that point in time?
Oh, he
Nobody.
had players, but guess what? Detroit
You
knew he
telling
wasn't
me
going
he
to pass
couldn't even
it. That's
take
what
the
I'm
game
telling
off
you
of Larry
guys.
Bird?
The game plan that
No, he's
Detroit
not
had
doing
was based on the whole premise that Michael Jordan was not going to pass the ball unless it was the absolute scenario at the end with no choice at
He
all.
never even.
That's how they
win.
game planned against Michael Jordan. That's how
Now-
they were able to beat
now-
him.
Okay, that's cool. Now, honestly, so you tell me if Jordan took last shot pass ball, was they still with that team? Was he still beating the Pistons?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. In
Wait,
1988,
Played more
The
team
Pistons who won the
ball, he
championship.
would have had a
That's
better
right.
chance.
he
If
doesn't
he
play
played
team
more team ball, he would have had a
ball.
better
They
chance.
have a better
Yep.
chance. Michael Jordan's not playing team basketball. He refused
my
to pass
God.
the ball. He refused
His
to. He
teammates was
refused to
calling
trust his
him out for
teammates.
only caring about scoring. His teammates were saying this. His own teammates are saying the exact same thing we saying.
They're saying it now.
Yeah, like he was a ball hog. His ball hogging is what hindered them and made them not win. You cannot sit up here and tell me Jordan is this mythical creature and all that. He couldn't win 2 playoff games or have a winning season. And y'all want to blame his teammates. When they're sitting up here telling y'all the same thing we telling y'all, he was a ball hog. He didn't want to pass the ball.
So Travis, I got a question. So if Jordan would have took less shots and played like a sort of more of a team style play, would they have won titles? Or do you think like he needed to score?
Scotty rookie
over
year. We
30
talking about
points a
Scotty
game?
rookie year.
No, I'm just talking about in general. Like when he started winning titles, if he would have scored less and played more, of a team-oriented offense, do you think the Bulls would have still won?
Their first 3 years, absolutely not. They were facing like two of the greatest teams of all time in the Celtics. Nobody's beating that team, especially not Mike with a bunch of crackheads. I don't care how much you pass the ball.
The AFC?
No,
Why is he not winning in the
I'm
regular
not-
season? Why is he not
I'm
winning in
not
the regular
saying that,
season?
though.
Why is he not
He
winning?
missed 62 games that season.
No,
How you expect him to win more than 30 games? It's 86.
87,
That
they
was
won
one year
40
you talking
games.
about. What
They
happened
won
to other
40
teams?
games to 87. Why couldn't they win 44? Why couldn't they win 45?
They just weren't that good.
Even on the Wizards, the man was taking all
So
the shots.
it proves our point that Michael Jordan's best season in 87, averaging 37 points
Who
per
was
game,
on
taking
that?
27 shots per game, is not winning nothing. So Michael Jordan shooting and scoring does not win the Bulls anything. You guys are proving my
Johnny, who
point.
on that team that was gonna score? Charles Oakley.
Let
No,
me
Charles
ask Travis
Charles
a question
Oakley gave him
because
14. That tells you everything you need
that's
to
not what
know.
I asked him.
Okay,
Or
hold
I'm
on.
asking on when the
I'm gonna
Bulls
answer that
win
short.
They
titles.
just can't simple fact that he lost to better teams.
All right, John.
No,
So
his ball
I think
hog-
what
Let
you
me
want
ask
me
you
to
this
say here,
question.
Brennan,
No, all right,
is
that's
you want
fine.
me to say that
I'm just
I
saying
agree
if,
that Mike should have jacked up 30 shots a game
no,
for his
I'm
career.
not saying
No,
that.
I
I'm not saying
agree
that. I'm
with you
saying
that
I'm
Mike
saying if
tempered.
during those runs that he won 6, if Jordan would have shot less and played more of a team-oriented style, would they still have won those 6 titles?
It's tough to say, man. That's all theoretical because who else would you trust? Like, how much less? Is he shooting like 10 less shots, 15 less shots a game?
Say, for instance, if he shot like 20 to 22 shots a game and focused more on other aspects of the game other than scoring, do you think?
I mean,
the
that was
Bulls
his
would have
career's
won 6 titles?
average is like 21 shots a game. So let's just say 15, right?
No, I'm talking about when
the
he was
Bulls
winning
not
titles.
winning. We
When
don't
he
gotta
was
argue. The
winning
Bulls not
titles.
winning.
When he's winning titles, he needed to shoot at least 25 times a game almost. So if he would have shot between 20 and 22 and been more of
He did.
a passer, basically.
I don't think he averaged over 25 shots a game for his title runs.
When they won,
you can look that up.
When they
what
won,
you asking
they
Jordan to
shot
do,
23 a game.
He did that. He went from 27 to 24, 22. He did that, and they started winning. They started winning championships.
His first title, he averaged
But
11
he shoot
assists
less
for the
than what he
whole
shot now. They're
series.
not winning no more. They're not winning.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay. So
I got it right here.
For the first title, they would have basically won if he would have, because that's what he did.
So his first title, he averaged the most assists ever out of anyone who also averaged 30 points a game. In the finals.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first title, if he would have passed the ball more, which he did, they would have won. So that's one title that they would have won. So do you?
So he did everything. He led in assists and points.
Okay. Let me keep going. Like if he would have continued to play more of that style, he would have won 6 titles still. That's what I'm saying. If he wasn't just only scoring like he did in the later parts of his career. So if he would have played more of a team oriented. So as B said, he would not have won 6 titles if he needed to score. He needed to take most of the shots to win. That's basically what SB is saying.
For that team to win.
You think Jordan needed to take most of the shots?
Yes, he needed to take the most shots on the team because he's the best player. But no, he could have passed more, sure. But he also averaged. It's not like he was averaging 0 assists a game. It was like 6 to 7 dimes every single run almost, and he was playing lockdown defense also. So he wasn't just a one-sided guy. He wasn't not passing the ball. He was moving within the triangle offense. Yes, he was taking the most shots on his team, just like an alpha is supposed to, and he was being efficient for the most part. So there's no what if he took half a shot?
He wasn't really efficient the last 3 titles. He was in the low 40s.
Oldest team to win the title, of course. Just like
okay. All right, let me ask this, right? Because this is what they get mad at me about, right? Because this is why I guess I'm the hater, right? In 1991, the same season you guys are talking about, Michael Jordan took 22.5 shots per game, shooting 53.9. So we're going to make it 54%. Scottie Pippen took 14 shots per game, averaging 52% from the field. Horace Grant took 9.5 shots per game, shooting 54.7, 55% from the field. Bill Cartwright took 8 shots, shooting 49%. B.J. Armstrong took 8 shots per game, averaging 48% from the field. John Paxson took 7 shots, shooting 55% from the field. The Bulls were the second highest rated team in efficiency that year, as far as field goal percentage goes. You guys are telling me that Michael Jordan had to take 22 shots for the Bulls to average?
No, he didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
They have
He shot more last year. He shot more last year. He already
Johnny, let me ask you a question. Who else is creating their own shot on that team?
The Bulls didn't win because of Jordan scoring and him taking all the shots.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could have won without
Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Bill Cartwright, and B.J. Armstrong can create their own shots.
No, they couldn't.
No,
not as good as Jordan. I'm not gonna say this. Wait, you give the ball to wait a minute. You give the ball to Cartwright or Bill. If you give the ball
and no title, they win titles with Jordan. They win 50 games. Pippen highlight is 50 games. Pippen highlight is 50 games in a second round loss in the 90s. That's his highlight. In the All-Star MVP.
If you
Jordan highlights without Pippen.
If you post up Horace Grant or Bill Cartwright, they can create their own shot and get an efficient shot off. That's facts. And they both had good mid-range jumpers.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
No.
Secondly, yes, they can. I'm not saying they're great. I didn't say that. I'm saying they can.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright versus Shaq and Hakeem, dude, for sure.
Bill Cartwright as a starter before he got traded he was averaging 17 and 8 as a starter for those 8 years in New York. That's what he was averaging. The year before he got Ewing was the starter, and as coming off the bench, he was still averaging 11 and 6. He went to Chicago and went to Chicago.
So was Kevin Love.
No, he went to Chicago and averaged.
Don't mention Kevin Love.
No, I'm not mentioning Kevin again. And that's what we tell you. That's why. But yeah, LeBron doesn't have a problem facilitating. We don't have
LeBron passing the ball.
LeBron's passing the ball. Jordan's not passing the ball.
Wait. How many assists per game did Mike average for his career?
Wait a second.
In 1991, he averaged 5.5, which is behind Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is the facilitator. That's why those other guys were getting their shots, not because of Michael Jordan. Because Scottie Pippen.
Who's Jordan? Who's Jordan passing it to get 5 assists? Himself?
If Jordan teammates
Jordan
are
has
saying
the
the same
highest.
thing are we saying, why are y'all trying to argue against
Jordan has a high
Why?
usage rate. He's going to have a lot of assists with a high usage rate. He is
The
passing
highest
the
of
ball.
all time, ain't it?
He's going. Nobody's saying Jordan's a bad passer. We're saying
No,
Jordan
ain't
is.
nobody saying it.
We're saying he's reluctant to pass. He's very reluctant to pass.
So what?
Ernest
If
keep on
Jordan
saying
had,
that.
like, okay, and so example, like if Jordan had a guy like how LeBron had with the scoring ability of like a Kyrie Irving, I guarantee he would probably pass the ball to him.
No,
But he
Kyrie
don't.
Irving's not getting the ball from Michael Jordan. Kyrie
Nope.
Irving's
If he could,
not.
why wouldn't he? Why
He's
wouldn't
not.
he?
Because
Jordan
can't,
ain't trying to
Jordan
pass
is
it
not
like that.
giving
So
the
check this
ball
out.
to
Yeah,
Michael.
he
Was
can.
Mike
He
the
can.
best
He
teammate
passes.
of all time?
It's in their
No.
Hell
system,
no.
the triangle to
No.
pass the ball. What are you talking
No,
about?
but that's why the triangle was invented, because they wanted to get the ball out of Mike's hands more. There was
Phil
no
Jackson
other way to
said he
do it.
want Jordan to take less shots and pass.
Jordan
So was
giving-
Mike the best
Why y'all
or the
trying to
best
argue
teammate
that?
of all time? No. Was he the best player of all time? Yes.
No, he wasn't.
That's not what we're talking
No,
about.
he wasn't.
That's exactly what we're talking about. That's what we started off talking about. Resumes
No,
that
He's not the
degenerated
greatest
into
player
this.
ever. He
Being a
cannot do
good
everything.
passer
Jordan
has
doesn't even
nothing
have
to
the
do
best
with being a
resume, so I don't even know what that supposed to
I don't
mean.
need to be your teammate to pass you the ball. I don't need
See,
to
we're
like
talking
you.
about resumes, and now it's like, oh, he didn't pass as much. Like that's what we're coming to.
Okay,
No,
Travis,
we're saying that
Travis,
his.
if
Oh my
Jordan
God,
teammates are saying
no.
the same thing we're saying, why are you trying to argue it? Why?
I'm not
They didn't
arguing.
win. They didn't win. You telling me that you
Jordan
don't
didn't
need
win.
30 points
Jordan
a game?
won less.
So
Jordan won
you telling me
less.
they three-peating twice if Jordan give you 25 a game?
Yes, if they
Yes.
move the
No,
ball
they're
around,
not.
they didn't.
No, they're
Yes.
not.
They're
No,
not
they're
gonna-
Bulls didn't
they're
stop
not
winning
missing out
until
on
he moved
points.
the
Jordan
ball.
had a
That's the reason
season
they
where he
won
won 32 when he
1996.
averaged 32, 8, and 8, and they went
Ernest,
nowhere.
let me ask Ernest
The
a question.
Bulls won because the
Nowhere.
system made Jordan pass.
Ernest,
That
do
proves the point right there.
they
went-
beat Shaq in '96 without Mike?
Do they win without the system? It's not because of Jordan taking
They
all
had
the
the
shots.
system in
Jordan
94.
Name me a season Jordan did any kind of winning with no system and no Pippen then. Name it.
Why do you bring up
Name.
94? What is 94 supposed to prove?
Because
No,
y'all bring up
that's
55
not an
games.
argument
That
for
happened in
Michael Jordan.
94.
Name a
That's a
winning
negative for Michael
season
Jordan.
Jordan had without the system.
It's a
and
negative to
No.
win 55 games and lose in the second round without the best player the season prior when y'all
If
won.
they had
Jordan
that
couldn't
30
even
points,
make
I
a
guarantee
second
they were
round.
losing in the second round. That's what I'm saying. Like
Jordan
If
couldn't
they
make
didn't have
a
Pippen,
second
they probably
round.
wouldn't make that far either. I don't understand how
That's what
that's
I'm
an
trying to
argument.
say. If we reverse the roles, if Scottie Pippen retired in '93 instead of Jordan, the Bulls are not winning 55 games with Michael
They ain't
Jordan.
winning
with that
55
same
games. They
roster.
ain't making no
They're
second
not.
round.
So now we're using
not.
hypotheticals. Now we're using
But yeah, that's what
hypotheticals.
y'all
It's a
doing,
fact.
though.
He
But that's
never
what y'all
did.
doing.
Name
That's
me
what
when he
you're
did.
using.
Name when he
That's
did.
what-
So show me a team.
Because
Show
there's
me
no-
a championship team. Show
Go
me a
ahead, go ahead.
championship team Pippen inherited that did that.
Pippen
Besides the
left the
Bulls.
Bulls and continued to win and make playoffs. What did Jordan do when they split?
Pippen went to stack teams.
Jordan didn't inherit a
But
championship
Jordan making
team.
people. But Jordan is the GOAT, right? He should be
Yes.
able to pack winning wherever he go, right? Why
Jordan,
all these
Jordan
teammates don't
averaged
like playing with
37
him?
points
Why
per
all
game
these
and didn't
teammates
win a
don't
game in
want
the
to pass
playoffs.
the ball?
So
Simple
if that's
as
the
that.
case, what championship team LeBron had without an all NBA player on his team or all-star player on his team? What championship did he win without one?
2016.
Oh, they're gonna say he made the finals though. They're
2016.
gonna say he made the
Man,
finals.
Kyrie
Jordan
Irving
can't
wasn't
even.
2016.
Jordan can't
So
even
Kyrie
win a
Irving- so
playoff
Kyrie-
game.
you
Y'all
not
skipping
Kyrie
He didn't
Irving
make
playoffs
the
for
All-Star.
one
He
He
didn't
wasn't
make
an
the
all-star.
All-Star.
He was an all-NBA.
NBA that year.
forgot
No,
I
about
said
2016.
all NBA or all-star player.
No, he didn't make it that year.
He
They were
didn't
not that
make
year.
it that year.
And Jordan had a season when Pippen didn't make it and they won a title. So what is we saying?
LeBron got carried to a ring in 2020, by the
Every
way.
title Michael Jordan won,
Wow.
Scottie Pippen was all
No,
defense.
no.
Every title Michael Jordan won, Scottie Pippen was
Every
all
title Michael
defense.
Jordan won, he was the final MVP. He was a scorer.
No.
He was first team all defense.
Again.
He was a first team all NBA.
We are not the ones. We are not the ones. We are not the ones. We're
And
not
y'all
the
like giving
ones.
Jordan credit for his defense
Listen,
too. That's crazy.
we are not the ones that think
He was
LeBron
like the
James
third best
won a
defender on the team.
championship without
See,
a
look,
team.
now he the third,
We've
but the
never
stats
said
say
that.
he was first team all defense.
I've been told
The
you
stats
Jordan
say
was
he
never
was
the best
third
defender on the
all-time in
Bulls.
steals.
I mean,
I've
not
been
over
told you
Scotty.
Jordan was never
fourth
the best
now.
defender on the Bulls.
He's
Who was
fourth.
Jordan locking
Bullshit.
up?
Sure he was.
Who was Jordan guarding and locking up? Name him.
His back.
Let's see. Only shooting guards?
Name why they
Name
wasn't putting
who
Jordan
he
on the
locked
best,
down.
on the best
Name
players on
the
the
player
opposing.
Jordan locked down. What series? What player? Who locked down?
Name
When?
it. Name it. Name it.
You said name name a series where Jordan
Yeah,
locked
because
somebody
supposedly he
down.
knocked down Magic, so that the Players' Choice people tell us that Scottie Pippen wasn't sticking Magic, although Magic said Scottie Pippen was on him. And I know for a fact the Bulls' strategy was to put Scottie Pippen on the point guard.
But you act
why
like
their
Mike
defense
didn't
was so
guard him
good.
at all,
No,
though.
who
Well,
did Michael Jordan
after
lock
the
down?
series,
Come on.
after the
Jordan
series
got
of the
locked down.
Bulls
Who did Jordan lock down?
Hold
Who did
on,
Jordan
wait.
lock down?
Hold on.
So now we want to use the eye test to see Jordan.
Jordan
wasn't great.
absolutely locked Magic down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
think
for
he
real.
did.
Who did Jordan lock
as
down?
a team?
For
As
real.
a team, they did. As a team, they did.
Pippen said that out of his mouth at the end of the series.
As a team, they did. They locked him down.
He held Clyde Drexler also way below his averages in the entire finals for 92.
45 points a game. Okay.
GP didn't look the
25
same
points
either.
per game.
What do you say? Hershey Hawkins, you funny.
Somebody did put Hershey
Okay,
Hawkins up there.
he
That's
locked Clyde Drexler down to 25 points per game. Okay, who else he locked down?
Let's see. He guarded Miller pretty fantastically in
didn't guard
98.
Reggie
There's
Miller.
such
He
a lot
did
of.
not guard Reggie Miller. He guarded Chris Mullin that series. Next.
So that just tells me you didn't watch any of the series, actually.
I
just looking
watched
up
the series and
empty box
Reggie
score.
Miller said it himself.
You're saying that he didn't guard Reggie Miller at all?
He guarded
Man, on
Chris
the
Mullin
switch, that ain't
majority of
locking
the
him up.
series. Reggie Miller said he was giving Jordan buckets, so they had to switch him off of him. Every time Jordan was on him, he gave him buckets. So next, I watched the series. I watched every single game of that series. So you trying to lie. So I don't know who you trying to lie to, but he did not guard Reggie Miller. He guarded Chris Mullin majority.
He already lied. Clyde Drexler averaged 25 points per game that series.
That's what I told him. He averaged 25 points a game.
And,
He said
and
that, though.
That's
Keep on lying, Travis. Come on, next.
He was
Keep on
lying.
lying next. You lied about him guarding with Reggie.
These myths.
And you lied about him locking down Clyde Drexler. And you lied about him locking down Magic. So next.
I didn't lie about any of those.
Yeah, okay, next.
What did Clyde Drexler shoot for that series? About 5% less than his career. Or than his
more
career.
lies from coming out your mouth. Next.
But he also did lock down Magic.
He shot 40% from the field.
He didn't lock down Magic. Next.
He averaged 25,
Yeah,
8, and 5 against Michael Jordan. That is at 1.5 steals, 1 block per game. That's what his finals average was. That's what Clyde Drexler did. Okay. The difference is Terry Porter not doing what Terry Porter does. You know why Terry Porter couldn't do what Terry Porter does? Because guess who was sticking Terry Porter? Scottie Pippen.
Oh my God,
man! They even like
Scottie Pippen always
the Bulls
Scottie Pippen
players
always
and the coach
guards.
even say Scottie Pippen was the best defender on their team.
Nobody argued that
come
though.
in here and be like, no, it was Jordan.
No,
the fuck
it was Scottie.
No, what we're trying to explain to y'all is that Michael Jordan, as great of a player as he is, benefited from being on a great team and won championships as a great team. That's what the Bulls were, a great team.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, we agree with that point. But
That
you can't
does not
say
make
his
Michael
30
Jordan
points per game and him leading the league in scoring was not important to that team. They needed that. They needed both of that. The Bulls are the greatest teams of all time. That's the greatest team ever of all time. They repeated twice.
All I'm saying is the coach of the team thought that they could win without Jordan averaging 30 points per game.
And he was wrong.
He wasn't wrong. He still was the way.
Average out of 30.
Jordan Jordan scoring never changed.
Well,
his winning did once he got the system and another player.
2 of those seasons he averaged less
scored
than 30.
the same.
So they was able to win with him averaging less than 30.
It's crazy that Phil say that because I'm gonna go. What year Shaq and them won their first championship?
2000.
How many points did Shaq average?
Not 30. It was like 29, but it wasn't 30.
And Shaq wasn't taking all the shots.
Shaq never averaged 30 points per game.
And how much he averaged in the finals?
Like
36.
Like
oh no.
Like,
I mean,
crazy.
listen, if Jordan wants to average 35 in the finals, I'm not saying nothing against that.
You want the whole playoff?
That's what we talking about.
No. I'm talking about the team in general. Again, you guys got to make the finals. You have to make the finals. You have to get to that point. You have to make the playoffs.
They skip
complete it.
Go right
yeah,
to
you got.
finals.
I get you.
You gotta complete it.
Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players ever. I'm not taking that away, but y'all make it seem like Michael Jordan's style of play wins basketball games when it never did. It just doesn't.
He three-peated twice. How can you say it don't? He three-peated twice. I'm confused.
Because of the system.
That's why I'm getting confused there.
Because of the system.
Okay, so why did Jordan retire in 99? Why couldn't he win a championship in 99? Why did he feel like I have to quit the game? Because in 99, I don't have...
broke the team.
That's besides the point.
Because Phil and Pippen wasn't coming back because he knew he wasn't going to win.
Exactly.
So
why didn't you
telling me the Bulls cannot win without Phil Jackson and Scottie Pippen, but they're going to have the same team with Jordan? They couldn't win.
Jordan thought that. Jordan thought that.
That's the end of his career.
Jordan saying whatever we said. Jordan said exactly what we saying.
Hold on, wait. If you just won the championship, no, Jordan's problem was Jordan. Y'all not saying the truth. Jordan literally his problem was he wanted to run it back. so they can defend their championship.
There was
Dude
no running it
said
back.
no. Dude, I know. He said
There was
Phil
no
ain't
running
coming
it
back
back.
under no. He said if y'all win, Phil ain't coming back under no circumstance. And then Scotty left because of the contract situation. It was a problem with the contract. You got to be truthful about it. Don't lie about it.
I get you.
Okay,
but
so
still,
if Jordan
so my
scoring
question
is what won, why didn't he stay and they get
In that
exactly,
system.
play style. So
With
that's
that
what I'm saying.
system and that team, yes.
You go. No, but I'm saying exactly. So again, it's not Jordan's style of play. It's the
the
fact that the
system.
Bulls
Well,
have
Kobe
this-
was y'all called Kobe a clone of Jordan, and that
That's
won
why-
another 3
That's why
titles.
Phil
When
Jackson
they
could
go
go.
to ball hog.
That's why Phil Jackson could take a year off and then win a championship coming right back because it's the system.
It's
That's
funny.
fine, but
You
you still
guys
need
are
a
like
dominant. Hold on, wait.
arguing this point.
You
that
still
Michael
need a
Jordan
dominant
don't even
scorer
believe.
in that system. Y'all still Shaq.
Everybody
Michael
had a
Jordan don't
system.
even believe you guys.
Shaq is not a
Michael
dominant
Jordan
scorer.
don't even believe you guys because he said, "I'm
Oh,
done."
Stop it, Johnny.
So
In that
you
Shaq
okay?
is not a dominant scorer.
Shaq
was
wasn't the
averaging.
dominant scorer.
Brandon,
He was averaging 29 points
No,
per game.
Travis.
That's not
That's
averaging
not a
30.
top 20. All right, okay.
All right, go
So,
ahead, Travis.
Yeah.
if we're just being, let's just lay it all on the table. Yes, there was a system. Phil Jackson, the great coach. You realize that every team has a system, right?
Yep.
Not every team.
Every team
Yeah,
has a
they
system.
have some type of system.
They have a playbook.
Yeah,
They
sometimes,
have
yeah.
schemes they want to run because they know who their
That is true.
personnel is, etc.
Mhm.
So I feel like that's kind of a disingenuous thing to like bring up to try to discredit a player's success.
No,
I mean,
it's
you
not
talk about
because
Shaq.
Discrediting Jordan.
Why
We're
is
just
it
saying he didn't have
discrediting
to
it? Why is
score
it
as much.
considered
he
discrediting
did
That's all we're
Jordan?
zero
saying.
winning without it. That's what y'all have failed to accept. Without that, he
Why
did
is it
zero
discrediting?
winning.
Why is it
Chris,
discrediting?
he didn't have that.
You can say that about Kobe as well. Then
You can say that about anyone.
You
No,
can
no,
say that about
okay.
a lot
You
of
can't
players.
say
You
that
know
about
what? I
LeBron.
get it.
Yeah,
See,
you can.
You guys
say
see,
that about Tim
Jordan
Duncan as
did
well.
You call that-
winning, no winning seasons,
You guys
no winning
consider
playoffs,
it
no winning
discrediting.
playoff series, zero.
You
LeBron
guys-
did not do that.
You guys
What do you mean?
It is-
LeBron missed the playoffs his first 2 years.
listen. You
He
guys
won
consider
more
it.
games than Jordan did when he made playoffs. They
So
only had
what?
to win 30 games.
Listen,
Jordan
All
got
right,
a better
all right, you guys
percentage.
be quiet. Go ahead,
Listen,
Johnny. Go ahead.
Jordan made the playoffs by
Okay.
default. Stop
So
it,
you were
guys.
talking. Okay, let's see.
No,
Thirty games.
Travis. The
Hey,
Bulls
Travis,
made.
let Johnny go.
Listen, the Bulls made the playoffs by default between 85 and 87. It's default. The league added an extra round. The Bulls were one of the worst teams. They were the top 10 worst teams in the league. They were not even. They were one of the worst teams. There was only 23 teams, so 16 teams have to make it. The Bulls were always the 16th team. Those 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop that there. That's not
That's
even
not
a thing.
default because you could be those 3 teams that doesn't make the playoffs. You still have to win some type of game.
You make it. You
That's
make
trash.
not the
I don't
top-
even know
not
why
the
y'all bring
no.
that up. Them
Basically
ass
saying if it's
Make the playoffs.
1983, the Bulls don't make the playoffs because there's not 8 teams making.
But it's not
making each round.
1983.
But that's what I'm saying by default
can't
because
fault
they
him.
added an extra round. I'm just saying it's by default. It's nothing. A default.
It wasn't a good team.
You guys know what
It
default
wasn't a good
means, right?
team. Yeah, it wasn't a
You
good
guys
team.
know
Yeah,
what
that's how you say it. He wasn't on a good team. Just say he wasn't.
No. You know what default means, right? It just
Yes, I
means,
know what default means,
Okay,
but
so-
default means if there was no one that missed the playoffs. There was teams that missed the playoffs.
All I'm saying is it's not their fault that they made it, or it's not their fault that they didn't make it. It's just the fact that by default they were the 16th team in the league and they made the playoffs. But again, what you guys I don't understand is that the reason you say we're discrediting Jordan is because you are crediting Jordan for something he didn't do.
I'm not.
What year you said it, Johnny?
85, 86, and 87. The Bulls
I never said. I'm not saying
the Bulls were
that.
not the top 12 team in the NBA. Before 1984, the NBA used to only let the 12 teams come in. The first 2 teams got a bye, and then they played a series like that. So if they never added those rounds, which they didn't really need to do that, there was no reason to do it. They just did it to do it.
See, here's where we need to
So you
kind
could
of
do
come
that
together
for
as
the
a group,
next
though, guys.
season if they only had going further.
No, I'm just
Actually,
saying, don't use LeBron not
that's not
making
right.
the playoffs his first
That's
2
not right.
seasons. Go ahead, Rob. Tell me why I'm not right.
Here's what we need to do, guys.
In
We need to be
84,
objective.
The first 8 teams they did have.
I said, that's what I'm saying. I said if it was 83, that's what I just said, Ralph. If it was 83, they wouldn't make the
But
playoffs.
Jordan's first year was 84-85 though, so they still.
That's why I said that. So I said 85 through 87.
But you can't dock him for what he
Hey,
did.
listen,
yeah.
all right, you don't add. Wait, you don't add. You
That's
don't add
2
no,
years prior.
You don't add no new teams to the league till 1989.
Now,
right?
now your point would have made sense.
No,
if, like,
1980
Jordan,
they
now, like,
added.
I'm saying your point would have
No.
made sense if Jordan was in the league at 84-85 and they seen they was losing and they added that in 90 and then Jordan started making
Just
playoffs.
like
Then
the
I would-
play-in. Just
I
like the
didn't say
play-in. They added a
again, I
play-in.
didn't say they changed the rules
Yeah.
for
Oh,
Jordan.
hey,
I
now-
said that they made the playoffs by default.
Can't say
That's
that.
all I
now, hold
said.
on, wait, though. But do you dock LeBron for the play-in stuff then?
No,
LeBron was
we can
always a
accept
7th
that.
seed.
Y'all
He was forced to be in a play-in. He was a 7th seed. He was forced to be in a play-in.
But it was
we
times
can
when he was
accept
under
that.
that.
Y'all
too.
can't.
He was forced to be in a play-in tournament. He was not the 9th or 10th seed. So
Listen to what I'm telling
that's
you
not
guys.
He was the
helping
9th or
LeBron.
10th seed before though.
This is why you guys say
When?
I'm a hater, because you guys don't
But
listen
yeah,
to me.
they lost
2021, one
Yeah,
day,
2021.
yeah.
21, he was a 7th seed.
He was a 7th seed, and
When they played, when they got
the
put out by
Warriors.
the Suns.
No,
Yeah, he was a
they
7th seed.
They beat
He
the
was a 7th
Warriors.
seed.
Y'all forget that Stephen Curry lost in the play-in 2021. They
Yeah,
lost to the
LeBron
Lakers.
Right,
said
and
he
they
saying
lost
LeBron
afterwards.
played in a play-in is not saying that he was a 9th or 10th seed. That's what I'm like. You guys are trying
LeBron
to act
said
like he was a
Well, I
9th.
mean, he was a
That's what you guys-
13
you
seed
guys
up
are
until
not-
like the last week of the.
That's why you
Okay.
guys are
He
not
wasn't a
No, he
listening.
got
13th
a spot though. No,
seed.
you
He was
can't
a
dock him
7th
for that.
seed.
You guys
He
are
was a
not
7th
listening.
seed.
You're not listening. You're not listening. The reason I brought up the default playoff seeding is because people act like LeBron James didn't make the playoffs, as if it wasn't his team wasn't better than Jordan's teams. His team was actually. It's just that the way the game goes, he's not going to make the playoffs because there's 30 teams. 16 teams have to make it. They're not the top 16, but they were not one of the worst teams. They're not one of the worst teams. The Bulls were still lottery picks. They were still getting top 10 picks while in the playoffs. Like, there's a big difference here. Like, that's the context you guys don't want to add. So that's why I brought that up.
Say that again.
The Bulls were still getting
that's
top
the same
10
team
picks
I expected
while
to beat
making the
Celtics who won
playoffs.
66 games in the first round. That's the
They were
same
still
team I want
getting-
him to win.
They were still getting top 10 picks while making the playoffs.
Because there was only
only had to
11
win
teams in the
30
Eastern
games to
Conference, so
make
3 of them
playoffs.
did not make the
There wasn't
playoffs.
many teams.
And that's where the default comes in at. That's the.
But you have to be better than those 3 teams to be defaulted.
Again,
Why
it's
y'all
by
brag on
default.
a team making
That's all
playoffs
I'm
when you only
saying.
have
It's
to
all
win
by
30 games as a
default.
team?
That's all
Your
it
team
is.
is trash if you
let me
barely
just say
win
that.
30 games.
Let me just say this: Jordan made the playoffs winning 30 games. LeBron missed the playoffs winning 42 games. That's what we're trying to say.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to say. Simple
It's
as that.
stupid to even bring up Jordan made playoffs in the first 2 years and LeBron didn't.
Hold on.
LeBron
Then
won
it's
more
stupid to
more
say
games
that
than
he
he
lost
won.
then,
LeBron
because he
for
wasn't
ball
supposed
Oh,
to.
you talking about when Jordan when they got the 10th pick? That's what you was talking about, Johnny.
Y'all
When they
making
got the
up all
lottery
these
pick?
excuses when y'all brought
you know
up
Charles
a
Oakley-
mutual-
I'm just asking.
Listen,
you
I
saying when they got the 10th pick in the lottery?
Listen,
The point
Where
is y'all can make
where
it.
did-
That's why I'm asking.
I'm gonna
But they
give it to
did
you.
get
wait.
a lottery pick.
Where did Charles Oakley get picked in 1986 after their 85
1980?
season? For the 85 draft, I'm sorry. For the 85 draft. Where did he get picked?
That's a good question.
That was number 6, I believe. If I'm correct, he was a 6th or the 8th pick, a top 10 pick after making the playoffs.
Yeah, you guys trying to give Jordan credit for making the playoffs with 30
Charles Oakley.
games and trying to discredit LeBron for
He
winning
He was a
30
ninth
games
pick.
and not
Some
making
He
of
was
the
a ninth
most
pick.
terrible
Okay,
He
players
was not. He was a
in the
ninth
playoffs.
pick.
Top
No,
10. That's top 10.
All right,
Top 10,
listen.
right? Okay, top 10.
And the Bulls had the 11th worst team in the league. They were the 11th worst, so their odds of getting that pick is very high.
Again, the 11th worst team out of 23. They're in the that you couldn't.
Yeah, he's still in the
wait.
play.
LeBron could not be the 11th worst team and make the playoffs in 2004 and 2005. That's what you guys still
Because
there was more
That's what y'all not
teams.
realizing. Bringing up
There
he
was
made
more
playoffs
teams,
makes no sense.
exactly.
That's the point we're bringing up. So by default,
But he still didn't make the
Nah,
playoffs.
that's
though.
not
You can't
by the
avoid
league
that.
expanding the playoffs by default, the Bulls and the
So
other
that's
teams
saying by
that-
default.
That's according to the era. You can't fault that because of the era.
And mind you,
Series.
it's not just the Bulls I'm talking about. We're talking about any team that was the 7th or 8th seed for those seasons. They made the playoffs by default. The Bulls just had to be one of those teams. That's it.
So wait,
You
so the
can't
Lakers
say
made
it's
the playoffs.
default.
So wait, the Lakers made the playoffs by default this year. Then
No, they didn't because they were the 7th seed.
you just said a 7th and 8th seed. You automatically make it by
No,
default.
I'm talking about back then because back then, again,
That still continue on
All right.
today.
And
So
19
that was-
that makes no sense.
In 1983,
No.
listen. In 1983, there were 23 teams, but only 12 made the playoffs. In 1984, there were 23 teams. Now 16 teams make the playoffs. They added 4 more teams.
I don't know how
to
y'all
the
not
playoffs.
comprehending
Jordan
it.
didn't play that
I
year.
don't see how y'all don't-
Jordan didn't play that
How
year.
many, now how many?
the next year, Jordan's team benefited from that
And then
rule
you, but
change.
you gotta, but then
And
you gotta,
everybody going
it's
further
the
would
fact
benefit.
that
Who's
more
7 and 8
teams,
seed
and
would benefit.
expansion. It's more teams that came in the
Yes,
league.
and I
you know,
agree with you.
expansion.
Eventually,
Yeah,
I get it. And by
you
89,
gotta finish the story. You can't just be
no,
like,
I got you. That's what I
Yeah.
get you. Yeah, great. But that was 89. That was 88, 89 season. They added the
more
Heat
teams.
and the Magic. Then the next season after that, they added the Timberwolves and the Hornets. So I get it. So now you have a 2017 league. It's a little bit different now. out of 16 teams.
Perfect example. Jordan
That's a
Wizards
perfect
records
example.
was the same
Exactly.
record
The
he
team
had when
that's
he was making the
11th.
playoffs in the
Yeah.
early 80s.
The
He
team
was
that's
making the
the
playoffs
team
on the
that's the
Wizards
11th.
with
Hey,
the same kind of record
the
he
team
was
that's
making
the
when he was on the Bulls at first.
the
That's
team
why
that's the
y'all
11th.
bringing up Jordan never missed playoffs don't never make sense.
You know
Because
LeBron.
it's
You
a
know
fact.
LeBron
You're
missed the
arguing a fact.
know
He
LeBron
never
LeBron
missed
It's
missed
a
the
playoffs
playoffs
in the
multiple
Bulls
times with the
uniform.
Lakers, right?
Listen to what I'm
This is
saying,
the
guys.
only
Why
time
he
y'all
had
want
the same kind of
context.
record
It's
on the
this is
Wizards?
negative
What happened?
against Jordan.
Listen to
This
what
is
I'm
the
telling you
only
guys.
time I
Same
hear
kind of record on the
explanation
Wizards.
why
What
trying to hear
happened?
you with
something
Johnny.
happened.
Listen
Let
what
Johnny
I'm
finish
telling
the
you.
point, y'all.
Let me tell you
He
this.
had the same kind of record on the Wizards. What happened?
You gotta let him finish the point, bro. You gotta let him finish the point, bro. I'm trying to hit
Listen,
him.
Ernest, listen. The team that was the 11th worst team in 1990, guess what? They ended up missing the playoffs.
They might have
But
the same
it's a
kind of
different
record
era,
on the
They could
Wizards.
have
man.
had,
You can't fault them by the era.
they could have had a better record than the Bulls.
I'm just
but
saying, like he
because-
made playoffs in a. You only have to
Can't
win
fault
30
them by
games.
the
It's
era.
nothing to
I'm
brag
not
on.
faulting him. That's why it's called a default.
You have to win 30
right?
games. That's it.
Nah, you can't say
Every
all I'm
team in
saying.
this
That's
league
all
today
I'm
make 30
saying.
games at least.
It's okay.
Jordan
thing
didn't
is-
even play a full season, and you fought him for winning 30 games. He missed
Even
60
before
some
that,
games.
You guys are giving Jordan more
84,
credit for winning
about
30 games than
87.
LeBron for winning 42.
Johnny,
Yeah, like,
listen,
come
That's
on,
just what
man.
it
Johnny,
is.
Johnny, I'm with you. I understand what you said.
Is that
But
simple? Y'all trying to make
okay,
up all these
let me
excuses.
Hold on. That's me.
LeBron won
Johnny,
more
I'm with
games
you.
than you make
I hear
playoffs
you.
than Jordan.
Hold on,
So
Ernest.
let's
Hold
go.
on, Ernest. Hold on, Ernest.
You going all the way left field talking about the Wizards and stuff. They have nothing to do with what we talking about, bro.
Yeah.
I get the point you're saying. So it made it easy for them to make the playoffs at that point in time. But we're not gonna say that they tweaked the rules just for the Bulls to make it. They was
No,
preparing
that's not what I'm saying. I agree with you. They did not. They changed the rules because the league was expanding. By that time, Magic and Bird was getting them more TV ratings. They wanted to create more playoffs because remember back then they didn't have live regular season games, but they could have live playoff games, right? So you add more playoffs. I get it. That's all I'm saying is don't use LeBron's first 2 seasons of not making the playoffs compared to Jordan's first 2 seasons because it's not really a fair comparison. That's all I'm saying. Because LeBron James took a team that won 17 games, I believe, or 20 games to 36 games.
But that wasn't the only 2 times he missed the playoffs, though.
And mind you,
Johnny.
he lost Darius Miles, he lost Carlos Boozer, he lost the best players that the Cavs have when he joined the team within the next 2 years.
Y'all internet messing up too?
Brandon and Johnny.
Go ahead.
So I feel like again, almost wild out a bit. Like we had earlier, we listed our top 10, right? But I feel like we've never really said, okay, why do we have them there? I listed because Jordan has the best resume. And then obviously everyone also listed as like fantastic 2-way player. Hakeem,
I didn't say my
little
list,
iffy.
why I got people on my list. I didn't say.
But
you, bro.
Honestly, you said, or I don't know who said it was, but you said LeBron's the GOAT because of his impact. Is that your argument?
No, nobody said that, bro. Nobody said that.
First of all, the only person who would actually be the GOAT because of impact is Michael Jordan. No one else.
Yeah, no debate.
So that would be fact. Again, this is GOAT James Kingdom, Travis. Listen to what I'm telling you very carefully. Stats, accolades, and achievements.
Okay.
So we're talking stats as far as per game and totals. You have to count totals.
For him, mine's different.
Accolades is all NBA awards and honors.
Why are we counting totals?
That's basketball.
I'm gonna say that's I count.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's count. It's like
that don't make any sense. Even mention.
That's like an achievement.
If you take off totals, Travis, you no longer have a complete resume.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, so is John Stockton in our top 10?
Why?
Why wouldn't he be?
What else does he have?
He has half of your requirements.
No. Who says totals is the only thing that matters? No, who said totals was half of the requirements? I just gave you 3 things, and you said that it's half of the requirements.
Okay, so he's the best in a third of your requirements then.
No, not even a third. Because listen, it's stats, accolades, and achievements. And within stats, there's 2 things that fracture it: per game and totals. So he's actually half of a third.
So he's the all-time leader in assists and steals, but he doesn't get a top 10?
And that's why he's top 30.
Yeah.
Easily.
It's this thing with you guys with totals. Like,
who said that?
Because Jordan doesn't have more than LeBron.
You say that all the time.
No, we just told you per games and totals are actually equal because they're stats. But they both count. You have to count both of them.
And what else John Stockton did besides that in his career?
Exactly. How many MVPs does he have? How many all NBAs, all defensive selections?
I'm not the one saying that he's on my top 10, but you're using totals as like one of the measuring sticks.
It is one of the
That's like that, but that wasn't his measuring stick, bro. He never said that much, bro.
Again, and then
People
the
call John
achievement.
Stockton the greatest point guard of all time. Like, what are you talking about? John Stockton is not a bum.
I don't know
He
why
ain't
y'all
the
get
greatest point
this.
guard of all
I don't know
time.
why y'all get. He is the greatest point
No,
guard.
I agree. John Stockton's not better than Magic or Steph or even Isaiah Thomas, but I mean, he just played a
He
long
got a
time.
case for
He's the greatest
Isaiah.
passer. He's the
He's
greatest
got
John
a
passer of all
case
Stockton
for
time.
played a
Isaiah.
long time, and he was very good for a long time.
Sure.
What are you talking about? Like, why?
And efficient, a great shooter and everything.
He was a great
Why
player.
did this goalpost got moved to another direction?
No,
That's
because we're
why.
talking about criteria. Because
Yeah, he's
again,
trying to say totals
Jordan
do
fans
not matter in NBA
confuse.
career. That's why, which
Yeah,
is a ridiculous statement.
and then we
A
use
ridiculous
achievements,
statement.
and achievements is your milestones and your records. Those count as well. That's a complete everything. Now, remind you, everything we just said is all objective and all things that you can tangibly look up. Everything we just mentioned.
Oh, here we go.
That's true. Tell me one thing that I just mentioned we can't look up.
I'm gonna say you want to ask.
No, I just can't wait for the Player of the Week awards to come out too.
Is it an NBA accolade or honor? Is it an NBA accolade or honor? Answer the question, Mr. I don't recount.
No, you're right. You're right. Player of the Week and month. They are a recognized accolade.
The NBA
Yes.
recognizes them. The NBA recognizes them. Do you
Yes, you're right.
Okay, then. So then what are we talking about? They're
So
measurable.
why?
Let's talk about how Embiid got that Michael Jordan award.
That's true.
Hey, my criteria is kind of similar like his, but mine's a little different. Mine's stat accolades, achievements. Also, how long have you been in the conversation as the best player in your position and the best player in the league? For me too, I add that to mine because I don't feel like John Stockton has never been in the conversation as the best player ever in the league.
Okay, so let's do this then, because I can see the position. The position thing is a big thing. I want the Jordan fans to answer this real quick. So name your top player in each position, SB.
At each position?
No,
Well,
SB
I'm not a Jordan fan, but he's my all time.
for each position. So your top point
the
guard.
greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson.
Greatest shooting
Greatest
guard,
shooting guard is Michael Jordan.
Greatest small forward.
LeBron James.
Greatest power forward.
Tim Duncan.
And greatest center.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, Ralph, you first. Greatest point guard.
Magic.
So, Jordan shooting guard, small forward.
Let me say my shooting guard. Jordan.
Okay, Jordan, your small forward.
Air Jordan.
LeBron.
Your power forward.
Tim Duncan.
And then your center.
I switched it up. Bill Russell.
Okay, Bill Russell.
Okay.
Travis, your greatest point guard.
Magic.
Your greatest shooting guard.
Jordan.
Your greatest small forward.
Give me Larry, dude. No.
You trolling.
I gotta take LeBron, obviously.
Your greatest power forward.
Duncan.
And your greatest center.
You gotta say either Kareem or probably Wilt.
It's gonna be the same, and all the names got the
Maybe
same
Shaq.
type of accolades.
Craig. Everybody got the same four as far as point guard, shooting guard, small forward, and power forward. Do you have the same, Craig? Is it?
How you just gonna say? How you just gonna assume Tim
Okay,
Duncan?
point guard. Okay, your greatest point guard, Craig. I'm sorry.
It's Magic,
Your greatest shooting guard.
Jordan,
Your greatest small forward.
LeBron.
Your greatest power forward.
Are we going by position or the skill set? I can say Bill Russell as my because he did.
Nah, go by position.
No, by position. By position.
All right, so I would say Kareem.
Not power forward.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said center. It's Tim Duncan.
Forward. Okay, and then your center's Kareem.
Kareem.
Okay, so we had two Kareems at center, one Bill Russell, and one was a mixture between Shaq, Wilt, and Kareem. It's the same thing for me. Bill Russell would be number 5 for me. I got the same people too as far as the greatest point guards, all that stuff. So how does that fit in though in the conversation? Because if these guys are the greatest, shouldn't they be in your top? Shouldn't they all be in your top 10? Right? Is that a top?
They all in my top 10.
Yeah, they're in my top 10.
They're all in my top 10.
My top 10 is Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, Magic, Bird, Hakeem. I feel like I'm missing somebody when I say this because I know I had Hakeem at 10. I got to look at it again.
Shaq's not in your top 10.
Oh, Shaq, then Hakeem. And I got Curry in the top 10. Yeah.
So I'm the only person that has Dr. J in their top 10. Or is it Ralph?
Yes.
You and Ralph. I ain't counting.
I got Dr. J number 11 for me.
Dr. J, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Yeah, Dr. J. Don't do him like that, bro.
Oh no, I'm
Don't
sorry.
know. Like me and the daddy had that
My
conversation
fault.
on my live.
I got my list right here. It's Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, Duncan, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell. Then I'm stuck between Hakeem and Wood at 10. I don't know. And then it's Curry right behind them after that.
Why
So,
do Jordan
Travis, you don't have Dr. J in the top 12 or nothing, or you don't think he was that
No,
good?
he'll be my top 20, but not my top 10.
top 10?
Why not?
What do you like? It like 12, 13, 14, 15?
What small forward was better than him before LeBron?
What small forward is better than Dr. J?
Larry
Before
Bird.
LeBron.
Larry and LeBron? Pippen, maybe?
No, not Larry.
Larry was better than Dr. J?
Whoa, Pippen?
Dr. J is a...
Dr. J was a beast,
No,
bro.
He was a beast. It's just tough to say because, like, hey, all of the requirements, right?
9, 2, and
Let him
2.
talk. Let him talk. Go ahead, Travis.
Come on, brother.
I mean, I love Dr. J, but I just don't think he measures up to... He wasn't on the same level as those other guys, especially from a two-way perspective. Doesn't have the hardware.
Hair, bro?
Two-way perspective. What?
Oh, you're holding.
Hey, he wasn't dominant defensively.
Let me get this. All right. So, like when we look at Dr. J, we look at the NBA. But when you look at his basketball career along with his ABA, the man has 3 titles and 4 MVPs. And with the whole totality, he got 30,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. J was a dog.
He was,
and he averaged over 2 steals per game plus a block per game. He has, when it comes to defense, he's
rounded 2 and 2. Rounded 2 and 2.
He has over 2,000 steals, almost 2,000 blocks.
Dude
over
was a
10,000
beast.
Rebounds. Like who could do
So,
it?
so having
the
2,000
reason
steals
why-
make you a good defender?
See, I give him his flowers for the fact that the NBA wouldn't be the NBA without the ABA. And
He was
what
the best
Dr.
player in
J
the ABA.
did within the ABA, he was the face of the ABA.
Yeah.
I mean, he dominated that league.
Afro and all.
So he the reason why the NBA bought them out then.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. They were trying to get him to the league. They needed him in the league because the league was
Dr. J would be a 30 and 15 guy today.
You
I'll
guys
just say
gotta
that.
remember. You gotta remember back then.
Boy,
You lost Bill Russell, right, which was the face of the league for a very long time, right?
Mhm.
You're about to lose Wilt Chamberlain. You're about to lose Oscar. You're about to lose all these other guys. The guy who's supposed to be your face is Kareem, and he's militant and Muslim.
Yep.
So,
Look, check.
so who are you going to bring in? Dr. J was beloved. He was the star. And that's why I say that, because from 72 to 84 or 85, he was really the best small forward in NBA history. Then you can say Bird afterwards. So he had a longer stretch as the best small forward than Bird.
He
Yeah,
made the
but he
All-Star
lost
team
to-
every
He
single
lost to Bill
year
Walton. I
of
still
his
can't believe
career.
that.
Like, let me give you this. They didn't count steals and blocks.
Bill Walton was
They
nice,
didn't-
healthy though. Don't
look,
do that.
Here's the thing about Dr. J. They
Go
don't
it
count
down,
steals
big
and
man.
They didn't count
Go ahead,
steals
Ralph.
and blocks. They didn't count steals and blocks his first year playing, and the man averaged 27 and 16 as a small forward. Then
He's
when
a
they
beast.
started at counting steals and blocks, he averaged 32, 12, 2.5 steals and 1.8 blocks.
I mean, he's a beast, man. He's a
Shooting
beast.
50% from the field. Like, that's why I have him in my top 10.
As soon as he came to the league,
he's to say he's barely top 20. That's ridiculous.
he took
Yeah.
the team to the championship in 77. He took the team to the
Mhm.
championship in 78, I believe. Then they went again in 80. It was
He won in
77.
74.
Yeah, 80
It-
because
It
they
was
lost
77,
Magic.
it was 80, 82, and then 83. So he went to 4 finals, and then he won 2 championships prior to that when he was already in the ABA. So
Yes.
he was just a great player. I mean, you talk about complete resume, Travis. That's a complete resume.
Yeah, I think Dr. J deserves more love though. He do.
Yeah.
He does.
He do.
Like in the playoffs, his first year, the man averaged 33 and 20.
Yeah, that is a little ridiculous though. That is.
Yeah,
That's
to not say
crazy,
he's in
bro.
the top 20. You don't really know your basketball history. That's you just don't know.
That's
basketball
why I
history
got
for
him
that.
there.
And I say the same thing for Elgin Baylor too, because Elgin Baylor was the man before. He just ain't never win.
Elgin buckets, yeah.
Jerry West was...
Yeah, Jerry West is definitely. I got Jerry West top 15 as well.
Yeah, Jerry West.
So I got him in
top
there
15
too.
now.
I got him high
He's
too.
top
but-
15.
all right, so y'all still gonna consider me the biggest Jordan hater? Can I get that take off my back, please?
No.
Dude, I already
You
said it
gotta
was
post
Zayden
something
Tang.
nice about Jordan for 7 days straight.
Oh my God! Wait till you see I got for y'all this week on Michael Jordan, man. Because y'all know I've
Oh
been
my
reading.
God. See, that's why you got the title.
That's it, like right here. I've been reading this book.
Oh, I actually have a video about the Jordan rules. It's like 30 seconds from Isaiah Thomas.
Okay,
And
yeah,
nobody's
can
gonna care about that either. Yeah,
Is
so
it
it's
that
fine.
video I had?
we all love Isaiah Thomas.
No, yeah, I love Isaiah.
Zeke
We all
hate
love
Jordan,
Isaiah
boy.
Thomas.
Yeah, I
What
love
do you mean he hate?
Isaiah.
He just telling the truth.
I don't
Bro,
like
I
Isaiah. He's
don't
a
think Zeke be
thief.
hating like that.
I
How
do
can
not like
you hate when you
Isaiah.
tell the
He's a
truth?
So
thief.
okay, are
He
we in
ran my
agreement that the top
organization
3
down the
players of all
ground.
time?
He's a thief.
We're in agreement though, right? It's Mike, LeBron, Kareem, right?
For most of us, not me.
Nah, I don't have Kareem in my top 3.
No, Brandon don't either. It's Michael, LeBron, Michael, and Kobe for Brandon. It's Wilt, Michael, and LeBron for me. SB has it the way you just said it. Ralph, who's your third, Ralph? Magic,
Tim
right?
Duncan.
Tim Duncan's done. He got
Yeah.
Tim Duncan's top 3. Ooh.
And then this what I want to talk about.
When I run that,
I stumbled across this. BJ,
Oh,
this was a lot of cap on here. You put
The
Tim
top
Duncan
75. The top 75.
that won.
Yeah.
You said Kobe won on Jordan watch and Tim Duncan.
It's 02 and 03.
I mean, was he in the league at that time?
What? That's what you was talking about. 0203.
Yeah.
Was he in the league at that time?
Yeah, Washington. Because Jordan fans don't like Washington.
This is you
Y'all
know
don't like
this is some
Washington.
nastiness. I said this is you know what you be doing. This is some nasty work. Right
but I'm gonna tell you about the
It's a
reason.
fact.
Like
It's
I had
yellow,
Tim
it's
Duncan
blue.
lower,
Uh-huh.
but when I started digging into Tim Duncan's career,
Tim Duncan.
out of 19 seasons, 15 All NBA, 15 All Defensive, three final MVPs with the 5 championships, 2 MVPs. His first 10 seasons, he's top 5 in MVP voting 9 times, and out of those 9 times, he was also top 5 in deploy.
And then this was the other part on the LeBron side where it was nasty work. You put Gary Payton and you put old Jason Kidd. This is nasty work right here. This is nasty work right here.
Wait a minute, that Jason Kidd was a baller in 2007. That's when LeBron beat him in 2007 with Vince
That's
Carter.
fair, but he's talking about who won on their watch. They won the championship. Jason Kidd was wasn't a factor, even if they want to be LeBron.
Fact, though.
And then Gary Payton with the Heat that's nasty. That's nasty work.
It's a fact.
No,
it's a fact.
That's
what they be saying about LeBron though.
Damn,
you just got 30 wins is more than 42. And
I got another question for you, Johnny.
I'm listening.
12 more wins.
I'm listening.
So actually, it's for Johnny and Ernest here. So, going back to what you said about the team probably could have won without Mike, right? Because would have been better ball movement.
Not without Mike. Hold on. I said they could have won without Mike taking 23 to 25 shots per game. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Of course they need Michael Jordan.
Michael
Jordan's one of the greatest players. Yes, I said the Bulls did not need Michael Jordan to take 25 shots per game for them to win games. They didn't need that.
So why y'all keep bringing up 94 when they won 55 games? What is that about?
That they didn't need all that to be successful.
But the movement didn't produce a ring.
Yeah,
the 30 points produced the ring.
Because you're missing an all NBA and all defensive player, Michael Jordan.
You're missing the best player on the team, system or not. You're not gonna win without that.
Go ahead, Ernest. Go ahead.
I'm saying what y'all fail to realize, Jordan doing the same scoring and all of that without the system. And he was winning less. That's what y'all failed to realize. What was that year he averaged 45? What was that, 87?
45.
But you comparing a lottery team to a team that just won a championship. You act like DJ Armstrong was on that 87 team.
He's talking about the playoffs. He's talking about 86 playoffs where Jordan averaged 40.
You talking about what year was that?
In 87, he averaged 43 against.
Anyway, that's what he's talking about.
I just misheard that then.
When he came off the broken foot, he averaged 40 because he had the 63-point game.
I had this conversation on Ralph's Live the other day because we were talking about this too, because somebody brought up Michael Jordan being the only player to never be outperformed in a final series, not by his teammate or by the opponent's team. So I brought up the idea that, well, is it because Michael Jordan just never let nobody else have a good game or a good series because he was going to take his 25 to whatever shots per game? There was games where people like Scottie Pippen and other people were having great games, but Jordan still was just taking up his shots no matter what. So is it possible to say that Jordan just never let his teammates really be who they could be? He just said, I'll take up all the scoring. You guys do everything else. And I'll play some defense on somebody who wrote something about me in the paper.
Yeah, but he said opponents too.
His teammates literally were saying.
No, he did. He did say opponents. He did say.
No, he was outscored on his first one, his rookie season. He was outscored by Terry Clemens 29.8 to like 29.3. That was the only time he was outscored in a series in the playoffs.
And that was another thing that was brought up.
After that, he was never outscored.
Is it just points though? What if you?
I mean, you could be outplayed and score more points.
Outscored.
You could be outplayed and score more points.
No, he said outplayed. He said
you could be outplayed and score more points.
Well, I agree. Magic Johnson did that to a ton of people.
Any game, I said that's impossible. He didn't say series. He said any game, and that's when that thing came over with Scotty.
Yeah,
I disagree. I know
he did take it. Yeah, he did take it to the extra. If he said not
Jordan had bad games. He had bad series.
He did say games too, but I was just going to the playoffs. I was going to the but he said the playoff series because that was the conversation with Russell. But then we had to go find out Russell's numbers to show just because Russell was averaging 18, that doesn't mean he wasn't the best player for the series. So that's where the conversation started from with the idea. I just wanted to see, and I got killed for it. They were killing me for it. We had a big conversation about it. My thing was, again, if Jordan takes 21 shots or 19 shots per game, can the Bulls still win? Yes.
If Jordan took 20 shots versus the Sonics and averaged 27 and they won. So it's very possible that they could win without Jordan taking more than 20 shots.
I can't guarantee 2 3-peats though. So I'm gonna take what we got.
I mean, who would have beat them?
And we're also talking, because we're talking about like what 2 or 3 shots a game. He averaged like 21 for his career, so it's like whatever, it's like okay, cool.
We're talking about what he did in the finals. He did not average 21 shots attempt.
What did we average in the finals over 6 years?
No, he's talking about one finals. He's just saying in the one against Seattle, he took 20 shots.
It's possible that he could have. Like I don't know if there's a series that he needed to average over 20 shot attempts to win. That's what I'm saying.
If LeBron would have just led the league and scored on the Heat, he would never would have lost. See, he should did what Mike did, led the league.
Come on, bring the Lions back in.
I mean, how many games we see LeBron could have won if he would have shot it instead of pass it? How many we have in the complete opposite?
A bunch.
How many times he could have won if he didn't pass?
Trying to be point guard.
Brandon's correct though. Brandon's correct.
You could say the same for both LeBron and Jordan. Jordan is shooting, LeBron is passing.
Because you know what? Because if we look at it from this perspective,
game 1 of the 28 finals.
In 1996, Jordan was all of that. That was one of Jordan's greatest seasons too, right? He won almost every award besides Defensive Player of the Year. But he did go into the finals taking 20 shots per game, averaging 27 points per game, and the Bulls were still able to win again because they had a great defensive team.
Jordan averaged 6 shots a game his career in the finals.
Yeah, Jordan made
should have been 27.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at it from this perspective, here we go. Like Luke Longley was 27 of 47 for that series. He shot 57% from the field. Now, not to say you're going to give the ball to Luke Longley to score all over the place, but again, the Bulls had players who can actually help them win and score for them. I mean, the only guys here that I can see that was playing as good as Michael Jordan, though, was Tony Kukoc. They actually all played bad outside of Tony Kukoc and Luke Longley. Scotty shot 34% that series, so we can't say Scotty could have led them in anything. Tony Kukoc though played good. Tony Kukoc average what?
Can I give us a shout out to James Worthy for abusing Pippen in '91? That'd be great.
I mean,
hey, he made Johnny that day we was going to laugh because I had to go look. I'm like, bro, I know Jordan had some bad games, and I thought about it like who out? I know because I'm looking at it now again, and I know Ralph gonna know the answer because he a Knicks. And Jordan game 3 against the Knicks when he shot 16% for the field. Who played good on the Knicks that game in game 3?
What, the 1993?
93 when Jordan shot horrible.
Because that was the one I brought up. That was the year I brought up. Let me go look it up.
You can't tell me he had 8 assists and 11. He had 11.
Hey, aren't the Knicks losing today?
Shoot 16%.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying though. Y'all act like the game. That's crazy to me.
No, but that was the game Scottie Pippen went off too, I believe.
Which game you talking about?
Scottie Pippen had a great game.
Scottie Pippen played good.
Scottie Pippen had a great game in game 3.
Oh, you talking about when he had 29?
No, he balled
Ralph,
out.
you guys about to take some like Jimmy Butler pounding today, or
No, don't do that to Ralph.
Don't do
We're
that.
not
Oh
doing
yeah. Scotty
We
averaged.
talk about Pippen having
Scotty
great
had-
games. We talk about Jordan
Patrick
having great
had a
series.
good
Can you
game.
please stop it with them too?
Oh, exactly. Hold on, wait. Scotty had 29, 4 and 4. Oh, 10 and 12. How he outperformed? He had 30. How he outperformed Jordan? That ain't make no sense.
But that's what I'm saying. Jordan was 3 of 18 to score 22 points. Scotty was 10 of 12.
With
Yeah,
30.
because he was 16 and 17.
If Jordan takes 10 shots that game, and he could still get this, he could still get the 11 rebounds and the 11 assists and the 8, but he could probably get more assists and more
Yeah,
rebounds.
because the refs gonna let him get
He
to
got
the line,
17
too.
free throws, so he got to shoot that many to get the free throws.
That's why I just said that the refs
Well,
gonna
you
let
don't
him get
count
to
the
the line.
attempts if they get fouled on attempts. That don't count as attempts.
Yo, Michael Jordan had 17 free throws on 18 attempts. Jesus, oh my goodness. But the Knicks were fouling. That was their style of play. They were playing rough.
Yeah.
I mean,
no?
We were the beast of the East then.
John Paxson is 5 of 7. That's another thing too, because see, they could have set up plays for people like Paxson, and they just never did it because Jordan really just wanted to shoot the ball as much, especially after that game because they were talking bad because they went down 0-2. So Jordan felt like he had to step up. But Scottie Pippen stepped up and won that game for them. You could say he outplayed Jordan that game.
Yeah, Pippen have good games. Jordan have great series. There's like you.
But that's what we're trying to say because I brought up that series, right? Because if we go look at the series stats, right, Michael Jordan had just averaged really more points than Scottie Pippen for that series. Let's see here. Michael Jordan averaged 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Scottie averaged 22 points, close to 7 rebounds and 4 assists, so a little bit less in assists. But Scottie shot 50% from the field. Jordan shot 40%. Again, Jordan took 155 shots to 98.
That's my problem. Like with like that, like the myth, like nobody ever played. That's BS. Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I heard this too. And that was Arc's my video. Do you believe Steph Curry can never pass LeBron to you all time? It's nothing he could do.
He definitely can.
Oh, he has to play 20 years. 20 years.
But I'm fine as long as you say that because it's like I see somebody say it's nothing that Curry can do ever pass LeBron. I say, bro, you sound just like Jordan fans saying it's nothing that LeBron can do. If somebody's still playing, they have a chance to be greater than anybody.
How many 3-pointers Stephen Curry has?
Yeah, I don't
like
think
6,000?
no 20 years.
Is it like 6,000?
No, his 3. Let me see right now.
How many the totals made? Because that's what I'm saying. Because like that's the thing. You have to play the 20 years. That's what LeBron has set the bar so high. You have to be dominant for a very long time. He really set the bar high.
You got to be mediocre for a very long time.
9,393s.
So let's just say he does get 32,000 points. Let's say he passed Michael in points. He gets 5 or 6 championships.
Come on,
don't give Jordan career to Steph and then say Steph.
No, I'm just saying he has 10 or 12 all NBAs. He wins another scoring title or 2.
If Steph gets another Finals MVP and a ring, he's above LeBron.
No,
I think if he can finish in like the top 10 and points and assists.
But we're not gonna use the Draymond. He can't win without Draymond Clay.
Do you guys understand that Westbrook has more totals than than Curry in every statistical category?
And it's not close. It is not close.
Like that's how much Stephen Curry's career is incomplete. Like you guys just only count these rings, and it doesn't make sense to me. The rings does not make Stephen Curry a top 10 player. It does not.
Nope.
It ain't make
one more. It does.
Top 10 player.
5 rings won't make him a top 10 player.
And just because he's the greatest shooter, and just because he's the greatest
and
shooter,
if that's the case, I don't want to hear nobody say about competition because Steph beat the greatest player of all time 3 times in the finals, and y'all don't give him no credit for that. So I don't want to hear about competition.
Isaiah beat Jordan 3 times.
I don't want to hear about competition ever again.
You guys don't give Joe Dumars any credit.
Exactly.
So
what do you mean? Y'all call him old.
Y'all
called him old in 91.
And Joe Dumars have a finals
MVP. And nobody
nobody gives Steph Curry was the second best player on those teams.
Y'all don't give them any credit.
Nobody giving Joe Dumars that much credit.
Y'all don't give them credit. Y'all don't give Rodman credit, except for when he played on Chicago. Now he's in his prime. Now he's the greatest rebound of all time. In 91, he was old and washed.
In 1988, the Jordan rules did not apply. And for some reason, Jordan's style of play in 1988, which was his greatest NBA season of all time, could not beat a team that had no all-NBA players, no all-defensive players, and one all-star. Dennis Rodman was second year in the league. Joe Dumars was third year in the league. Michael Jordan shows up.
Criticized Jordan in his second year in the league. So come on now. Jordan scored 63 points.
So why didn't Jordan goes and scores 45? Oh, wait, he goes up against Cleveland and scores 45 points per game and beats them in the series, and he does all that he has to do to win that series, but then he shows up against Detroit and he couldn't beat Detroit.
Detroit is an NBA champion. Cleveland.
No, they was not. In 1988, they were not. They were nothing in 1988. They were absolutely nothing.
They made it to the finals, though.
Wait, what? They made it to the finals and took the Lakers to 7 games.
They made the finals because Jordan couldn't beat them.
Yeah, so?
That's what I'm saying.
And a prime Magic Johnson with Kareem took 7 games, and he wasn't even the finals MVP.
So why
couldn't the Bulls would have got swept? They would have made the finals.
Why Jordan couldn't do that? If Jordan is greater than Isaiah Thomas, why couldn't he do that?
He wasn't on a better team.
Dude, it's not just him versus Isaiah. The Pistons,
he wasn't on a better team.
The Pistons were a top 5 or 10 team of all time.
Not 88.
Yeah, dude, in 88, yes.
If the Bulls would have made the finals in 88 and played the Lakers team, they would have got swept.
The Bulls won 50 games in 88. The Detroit Pistons won 53. Matter of fact, the Bulls lost 6 games in the regular season versus the Cleveland Cavaliers and beat them in the playoffs. They went up against Detroit and got beat 4-1. Where was Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan went from averaging 35 points per game to averaging 27 points per game. Where was Michael Jordan?
What do you mean, where was he? He was up against arguably the best defensive team of all time.
No,
he was the only one.
The Bulls had the best defense.
He was the only one that was performing very well in that series.
You're making an excuse for Jordan, but you're trying to down LeBron for losing to Golden State.
I'm not trying to down him. I literally said no one's beating that Golden State team.
You just said
the Bulls had the best defense in 88.
I said that way earlier. I was like, no one's beating Durant in 17 and 18.
The Bulls had the best defense in 88, and he let Adrian Dantley go off for 20 points per game on him.
They would go beat that Pistons team. They was a better team.
Adrian Dantley was a bad man.
If Jordan was Jordan, they would win that series. But Jordan wasn't Jordan.
You said it.
What is Jordan in his fourth year? What is Jordan in his fourth year?
1988
What is Jordan in his fourth year?
Y'all love 2011. I love 2000. Y'all love 2011. I love 1988. That's why I'm the Jordan.
You said 88. That was the best defensive team.
But now, even if the Bulls had made the finals that year, we can be realistic, though. We can be realistic. If the Bulls would have got past the Pistons, they'd have played that Lakers team.
88, they had the third best defense.
They would have got swept. They wouldn't go beat.
I didn't say rating, Ralph. I said they had the best defense. Best defense go by points per game.
Nah, but both. They go by both.
No, they don't.
So if LeBron went, like you say, you can put Curry above LeBron if he win his 5th ring. So if LeBron win this year, you gonna put him above Jordan?
I am. I said I am.
This guy said it.
I said I am.
That's what Travis said. Didn't you say you'll put Curry above LeBron if he win the 5th ring? So
I won't.
With your same logic, you gonna put LeBron above Jordan if he win his 5th ring?
Sure.
If that's the case, Curry should be number 3 on your list. Why is he behind Kareem?
Only if he win his 5th ring and get his 5th Finals MVP, then we can have that discussion. I don't want to hear his 5th ring. I don't want to hear
he got to get a Finals MVP.
He has a resume.
So
he got to get a Finals MVP.
How does Curry 5 rings and 2 Finals MVP?
Ooh, I didn't say anything about Curry. You
not like to Travis. Travis, how does that beat that? How does 5 championships and 2 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs beat somebody who has 6 championships, 2 Final MVPs, and 6 MVPs?
No, you're right, man. How does it beat? Like, that's what you say for LeBron over Mike?
No, I don't. I told you the overall resume of LeBron is greater than anyone.
It's definitely not, though.
It is.
LeBron has a better resume.
And listen, if you take per game averages, if you take totals, if you take NBA awards, accolades, and achievements, LeBron has the biggest resume. He has one. He has a
no. We're only using major accolades and achievements. Your bullshit doesn't matter about per game or like player of the week or player of the month.
You can't say that because
you want to use your requirements, not the NBA.
Everyone's.
Okay. Does Jordan have the most? Oh wait, does Jordan have the most All NBAs?
No.
Does Jordan have the most all defensive selections?
Tied for the most, yes. First team.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Tim Duncan has the most.
I said all defensive selections. I didn't say first team. I said all defensive selections. Does Jordan have the most all defensive selections?
Nope.
Does Jordan have the most MVPs?
No.
Does Jordan have the most titles?
Final MVPs, yes.
It's all together is what we're talking about.
If he has none of them, how is all together matter? There's players who have more than him.
What do you mean? Okay, so if I go to if you submit a resume, Johnny, okay, and mine is way better, well-rounded, but you beat me in like one thing and my resume.
His
But you
resume
you
is
obliterated.
Travis, you are getting exposed. Listen, you said major awards. You said major accolades. I gave you major accolades. Jordan is
didn't.
not number one in none of them.
It doesn't matter if you're number one at all.
The same thing with LeBron. It doesn't matter if LeBron's not number one in everything. Overall, everything that encompasses basketball, LeBron's high in everything.
No, it's not. Okay. So name me another player who checks all the boxes. And okay, who else has a combination of at least 6 rings, 6 MVPs, 6 again finals MVPs, things like that.
That's not the most. So why would you bring up the
No, he's not bringing Jordan's number because
most.
Jordan doesn't have 6 MVPs. He said why is it? First of all, show me the player who has 11 NBA championships and 5 MVPs. Those are the most important accolades. There's nothing more important than that.
Okay, and also the balance of scoring accolades, defensive accolades, again, advanced stats.
There is no accolade for scoring. Why do you keep?
Yes, there is.
Scoring?
Yes, it is. Yes,
Scoring
it is.
titles.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They do have scoring titles. I've seen it with my own eyes. Yes,
You're just in denial.
Score tab count. Okay.
Again,
yes, I do.
when you're talking about the most complete
which
resume,
counts more? Scoring titles are being the all-time leading scorer. Which one counts more to you, Travis?
He got an
scoring
MVP
titles,
trophy.
100%.
What'd you say?
Scoring titles, absolutely.
Anybody can win a scoring title every year. How many people gonna win an all-time scoring record?
Not everyone can win a scoring title
All right,
every
so
year.
who's going to win a scoring title, a first team all defense, first league all NBA, an MVP, and a finals MVP in the same season? How many players did that?
How many players is the all-time leading scorer?
There was a lot
it's
of
one of
players
one.
that was
One of
all-time
one.
leading
Yeah,
scorer.
one of one.
He just passed him. He passed
God.
Kareem. Kareem passed Wilt.
How
Wilt
can-
passed Bob. So
how
there was
long did
4
Kareem
How
all-time
can
leading
the
record?
fifth
scorers.
all-time
How
in
many
scoring be
times
more than
was a
number
player
one?
first team all defense scoring title, league MVP, and a finals MVP in the same season? How many? How many?
That sounds like a good season.
Let me ask you a
That
question:
don't
Who has
sound
the
like
who has the
all-time
most
career.
who has the most offensive accolades? Since we're counting offensive stats, season awards. Who has the most offensive accolades? Since we're counting offensive stats, offensive.
I would have to say
season awards.
As you counting assists,
I think Will.
Assist
Wilt
offense.
to the
Assist is a
But
part of
Wilt
offense.
didn't
Well,
win a
see, who
championship
leads the
before
regular
that.
season
Wilt
in
had-
both?
Jordan had the individual and team in the same season on multiple occasions. So his team was winning and he was succeeding personally on multiple occasions. Not too many players can say that. Yeah, I win a title here and then maybe 2 years from now I win an MVP, but he brought that together. So it was masked with team success.
No, listen.
His personal success was masked with team success.
Craig, outside of the scoring title, other players have did this.
But I just mentioned all NBA first team. You just said that's the reason why Pippen is better than Wade.
I told you guys that Scottie Pippen has 7 All NBAs. He has 10 All Defensive selections. He's a 7-time All Star. That's what I keep mentioning up to. Dwayne Wade has more All NBAs than Scottie Pippen. But you guys fail to realize Scottie Pippen's whole resume is better than Dwayne Wade's. That's what you guys fail to, just like with Jordan. Like, okay, the 10 scoring titles. Jordan has 10 scoring titles, right? If I'm correct, that's not the most for any season as far as the most season awards, right? Because Bill Russell has 11 rebounding. So that's the most individual one statistical category. So Jordan doesn't have the most there. He has the most scoring titles.
How many?
Yeah, Jordan got the most scoring titles.
Bill Russell got how many?
Will Chamberlain has 11 offensive rebounds.
You said Bill Russell at first.
I'm sorry. Will Chamberlain has 11 rebounding, so he has the most seasonal awards for any one particular category. Jordan has the most scoring titles.
We say he has the most scoring titles. Y'all bring up he doesn't have the most season statistically leading something. We just had scoring titles.
He got
the league in total scoring. I just don't get how y'all put so much emphasis on scoring, but then don't.
Because you got to score to win the game. You can't out-rebound somebody. You can't say I win a game because I had 20 assists and you have 10. You have to put the ball in the basket when the clock reaches 0 at the end of the fourth quarter to win. You don't win.
But then we bring up LeBron has been the best at putting the ball in the hoop, and y'all discredit.
All right, so show me a game where the team had more points than the other team, but they lost because they had more rebounds.
There's Jordan the team scoring. Because you keep acting like Jordan's 30 points per game was the Bulls team scoring. The team scores and wins. You guys, that's what I'm saying. You guys are giving Jordan credit for stuff that Jordan didn't do.
I'm literally just saying
Bulls scored 90 points per game. Jordan scored 30 of it. That's not Jordan winning the game for the Bulls. That's the Bulls winning the game.
Again, off topic. Who cares about that?
Yeah, you guys are off topic because this guy mentioned major awards, and Jordan does not have the most in all major awards, but for some reason you guys want to continually use this. And then when I prove to you that he doesn't have the major awards,
I literally just told you why.
You guys go to other stuff. So now Jordan's the GOAT because he has 10 scoring titles.
I said he's the GOAT because he won with his team with personal success and team success at the same time. And
so did Bill Russell. Bill Russell That's what I'm saying. All these other guys won championships, being the most successful and doing all of this.
Okay, so Bill Russell is better than LeBron, right?
No, because I don't go off of what you go off of. Don't accuse me of what you do. I go off of everything, and everything. LeBron has everything. No one
has
everything.
That's the point. You got to understand.
The most all NBA selections, all first team, and just all in general. The most all-star selections, the most points per game, the most playoff points per game.
All-star
Actually, Bill Russell only led the league in rebounds 3 times in those championship years.
He won 4 times.
No, I'm talking about within the championship years.
Bill Russell won 5 MVPs. That is called being one of the best players in the league. He won more MVPs in his era than nobody else.
Well, I'm talking about as far as like leading the league in rebounds.
Okay, he led the league in rebounds 4 times, and he was going up against somebody who's also averaging 20 rebounds per game, who won 11.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Ralph. Let me ask you a question. What's more impressive? Jordan having 10 scoring titles or the all-time leading scorer? Which more impressive?
Now that's a different conversation to have. The 8 scoring title not better than, but for me personally, 10 scoring titles is tough because he was winning while he was getting those scoring titles.
Yeah.
Which one's more impressive? The all-time leading scorer or 10 scoring titles?
I can't hear. Ernest,
what's more impressive, LeBron getting a score record of 10 scoring titles? That I don't know. That's
Ralph. What's more impressive, getting 10 scoring titles like Michael Jordan or being the all-time leader?
So Brandon, let me ask you a question here.
You gotta answer this question first.
Let Ralph answer the question first.
I already answered that.
I'll answer that.
Okay, I said let Ralph answer the question.
Let Ralph answer. Ralph,
you said 10 scoring titles or the all-time leading scorer.
Which one's more impressive?
The 10 scoring titles to me, because out of those 10 scoring titles, the 6 scoring titles, he won the championship.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Which one's more impressive?
I would say the 10 scoring titles because that shows how you dominate against the competition. The all-time just means you played longer than your competition. Because you don't.
All right. SB, what do you think?
It's a tough call because of like 10 scoring titles is tough, and because he won with it. Now, if you just saying like in general, you just get 10 scoring titles and nothing else to it, because I think Jordan winning made it 10 scoring titles hold more weight than what it is. But honestly, bro,
winning really has nothing to do with it. It's what's more impressive in the regular season.
Yeah, but
it's a regular season thing.
Being an all-time leading scorer is like ridiculous, bro. You have to be good for a long time. So I'm gonna say the all-time leading scorer for me.
Well, the reason why, hold on. Let me say, the reason why not only he won the 10 scoring titles, he also led the playoffs in scoring 10 times as well, as well as winning.
Now watch this other way. If it's just 10 scoring titles, but not Jordan not winning, it's just scoring titles or leading the all-time league.
Regular season.
If Jordan didn't win, it would be the all-time.
Winning a title has nothing to do in a regular season award.
Yeah,
he did it in the playoffs as well.
It's a regular season title.
He led the regular season.
You guys want to add something else to it to make Jordan seem like it's better when it's not.
I'm about to state the fact. Okay. He led the league in scoring in the regular season. He also led the playoffs 10 times in scoring, along with winning those championships. So that's why it holds a lot of weight.
James is also the all-time
Becoming the all-time scoring leader is much harder than winning a scoring title, which makes the all-time scoring record more impressive.
I ain't gonna hold. That's tough. Because technically,
it is tough. But
if y'all wanted to be saucy with it, you could just be like every time LeBron scored a point, he break the record every time. But y'all be that'd be so petty to say. That'd be so petty.
So,
what
Brandon,
I'm
here's a question
saying.
for you.
Like,
Score record is
But it's more about we just argue about rebounds and assists, but everything just said the all-time leading scoring is the most important thing. So scoring is more important.
I
than
mean,
the
y'all talk about
rebound
scoring
leader
so much.
than the assist
I got a
leader
question for y'all.
than the
Scoring.
steals leader.
Just a
But yet,
regular season
I got a
award.
question for you. I got a question for you. Is scoring worth more than winning?
No,
No.
What that supposed to mean?
no.
I just asked a question.
What that supposed to
Y'all,
mean?
No,
y'all bring up.
winning
I
I
just
don't
asked a
understand that
bring up
question.
scoring
Just
like
asked
that.
a
I
question.
don't understand that question.
Yeah, that don't
Which
apply.
That don't
which
make
one
any sense.
is worth more? Scoring or winning?
Winning. We don't got to argue. Winning is the most important thing. Winning.
What does that have to do with a regular
See,
season
Brandon won't answer the
title?
question. I just
It doesn't have nothing to do with what you did in the regular season.
no.
I mean, both
What's
players won a
no?
lot, so I don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
I'm asking a question. All I'm asking, which one is worth more, winning or scoring?
Don't LeBron have the most playoff wins?
I mean, you talking about which category points are winning is going to always trump everything.
All right, and that's why I stated. That's the reason why I stated that the scoring titles is worth more because he did it within winning as well, and he
Scoring
has a
titles
higher
have nothing to do
percentage
with
in
winning.
winning.
That has nothing to do with
His
winning.
scoring
That's
titles
what I'm
have nothing
saying.
to do with
It's a
winning.
regular
Scoring is
season
because
award.
you
You could
you
lose
have to
every
score the
game in the
points to
season
win.
and be the scoring leader in the season. You could lose every game in the season to be the scoring.
and you
title
can
leader.
do that to be
But
the
Jordan didn't
all-time
do that
leading
though.
scorer
But
too.
Jordan didn't do that.
cannot-
That's the point.
You said what?
He didn't do that.
Who?
So,
He didn't do that all the time.
All the
That's
Brandon,
what I'm
time.
here's one
saying.
for you.
Jordan didn't do that
Like
all the
still,
time.
that has nothing to do with it. That's what I'm saying.
That
Like
has
you guys trying to
I
add
don't-
different caveats to boost a
No.
scoring title.
No, I
over
see
the
where Ralph is
all-time
going with
award.
this.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
It
not.
harpens,
Yeah.
it harpens back to what I said that you guys are credit Michael Jordan's scoring ability to why the Bulls won, and that is false. The Bulls did not win 6 championships because Jordan was the scoring title leader. That had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. It's a
Okay.
regular season thing for
Oh
one.
my God.
So,
So
Brandon, here's
you
a
guys
question for you.
continue to add different caveats to boost a scoring title over the number one record in NBA history. But go
So,
ahead.
Brandon, here's a question. How many scoring titles did Kareem Abdul-Jabbar have?
Was it like 2 or something?
He had I believe 2. Yes.
Four.
In 20 years. Okay. So that means in 2 seasons.
Yes, 4.
No,
Did he? No.
Yes, 4.
okay. Anyways.
Well, anyway. So Kareem
2.
was exactly the best scorer in the league 2 years out of his 20, but he avoided major injury, and he was a consistently decent scorer. Although he dropped off a whole lot in beginning in 82 onward through 89. So he just avoided. He was the secondary guy. He was the main man for 10 years. Then he was the secondary guy kind of for the last 8. Okay. But he was a consistently good player. But he was never a dominant. He was never the most dominant scorer in the league outside of 2 years. So how is that more impressive?
This how easy it is to win a scoring title. Wasn't LeBron about to win a scoring title like a year or 2 ago, but then he just stopped playing the last few games and then win it? And he was in year 18, 19?
Because he didn't want to be a loser and win a scoring title. That's why.
No. Jordan.
About and doing is 2 different things.
No,
Jordan had a.
Jordan's
under 500 when he won a scoring title.
Stat pad and win a scoring title. I saw them posts all on Facebook, all on social media when he was about to win that scoring title in year 19 because it was easy to do. Then it's much easier to do that than to become the NBA all-time scoring leader. Everybody is winning a scoring title every year. Every year is not somebody making passing that scoring record.
And how do you get the scoring record? How you get the scoring record? What is the main thing you have to be?
You gotta dominate and be a good, consistent scorer for 20 years plus.
So you got to be a mediocre scorer for the last.
You cannot be mediocre scorer.
Who's a mediocre scorer?
So you tell me Kobe was a mediocre scorer?
Yes,
what do you mean Kareem was?
Kareem
What?
was
I wouldn't say
Man,
LeBron
y'all
was
crazy as
mediocre.
hell.
You said wait. You said Kobe. You said Kobe.
Based on statistics,
Kareem averaged 25 points a game. Stop it,
don't
guys.
say average. Don't you?
Wait, you said Kareem and Kobe. You said Kobe.
No, because
No, Kobe. No.
There's nobody. Wait, there's
Kareem
nobody.
was
LeBron's not mediocre.
There is
LeBron
nobody
is
who has
not mediocre.
30,000 points who averaged mediocre or has mediocre stats.
Okay, what did Kareem
Everybody-
average points per game his last like 5 seasons?
He still averaged 24 and a half for his career.
No, he didn't.
For his career, 24 and a half.
Sure, that's been built in the 70s. He was.
He said his last
Hey,
5
this is
seasons,
crazy
he averaged,
things
he
today.
averaged
Jordan was getting
17
I mean,
Like,
these
yeah,
things
it's
you've been
crazy.
saying just don't make any
One-on-one.
sense.
Like, come on, bro.
Bro, there's
He was
nobody
putting up
who has
bench
I
player
don't- I don't
numbers.
know
there's
if you're
nobody
trolling
who
or
has
what.
30,000 points who is a mediocre in scoring in any case. There's nothing
According
you
to
can
the
do at all.
averages, he's not on top. So you
That because that doesn't mean mediocre.
So
Mediocre
Kobe
is
was
not
a
number
mediocre
one. You're
scorer.
mediocre, right?
Kareem, you call it Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the most unstoppable move ever, a
a
mediocre
mediocre
score.
score. Come on, y'all gotta stop this.
No, what I'm saying.
I'm
This
going by the
get
stats.
nasty. This
I'm going by the stats. Yeah, they love the stats so much.
Yep, look at the stats. He dropped off huge.
So wait, so is Carmelo Anthony a mediocre scorer? Because he dropped off too.
He was mediocre his final like 4 or 5 years. Sure, not prime.
No, he
So
said.
Jordan-
And so in that totality, like you doing Kareem,
You
is
said Kareem's
Carmelo
whole
Anthony a
career
mediocre
was
scorer?
mediocre.
Kareem was a great scorer at his prime. So was Melo.
But you said because of this drop off in total.
Melo averaged 22 and a half. That's not mediocre.
So what they say about Jordan? Because he's
Right.
5th on the all-time scoring list.
What? That's all time.
I-
What
That's
you
the
call
only
it?
thing.
Bro,
Oh, my goodness.
did you hear what you just said?
Yes,
Did you
I
hear
heard
what
exactly
you
what he
just
said. So they
As
dropped
far as
off.
scoring, there's 4 different categories.
Man, bro, I think that's the dumbest thing I heard all day.
I think
Okay,
that's
so you're saying
No,
so you're saying that Kareem
mediocre
Abdul-Jabbar was the best scorer of all time up until last year?
He
Of
was.
course.
He was the best at putting the ball in the
Better
hole.
than Kobe.
They didn't say LeBron was the greatest
Bro,
scorer of all time.
why is hold on, wait? What makes Kobe
Yeah,
a
they
top
did.
5 scorer?
They
Better than
did,
Kobe. Better
What
than
makes-
so.
They
He was
did.
better than
Wait.
LeBron.
What makes Kobe a top 5
Man, there's
scorer?
gonna be
Travis?
some videos made on this.
Kobe had the best footwork, great mid range, definitely the best technique of all time.
More than Melo?
But he wasn't the best
Yes.
at
Is
putting
that
the
an
ball in
objective
the
take
hole.
or
though.
a subjective take?
That's eye test. Subjective.
That's
So
a high
Your,
test.
your
I
perspective.
don't want that. I
exactly.
want to know your objective take. What makes Kobe top 5 scoring?
I just said that. What do you mean? That's objective.
No, I said
You
objective.
can watch the games.
No, I want objective. It's not objective. That's your personal opinion. Because I think there's
Let's
other players
see.
who got better
I can pull up his stats right now, where he averaged like 40 points per game for like an entire month.
scoring. Okay.
Averaged 81 points. Was the only guy who ever dropped, or in the modern era, a 35 point per game season. All these things.
Is Harden in your top 5 then? Because Harden did all of that besides 80 points.
I just gave you like 4 different things.
No, but Harden did all of that but the 80 points. So is he in your top 5?
He's what?
Harden did all of that. He has the same stretch of 40-point games, 50-point games.
Harden averaged 40 for a month.
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah.
Has
Did
the
all
top,
that.
he has the top 10. He
2017.
averaged
wasn't it?
36. He averaged
2017?
36, 37 for a season, right? Something like that, right? Close to Jordan, right? Then he
It was
averaged
like
36.
2017,
36.
2018 he
He
did
averaged
it.
36.
He was
points
over
per
that
game.
year.
You looking bad today, buddy. You looking bad today,
Yeah.
buddy.
Is
You looking
Harden
very
in your
bad
top 5
today.
Hey,
scorers
they
though?
gonna make some beams off your ass.
No, wait, is Harden in your top 5 scorer?
Harden is not in my top 5 scoring.
So the Kobe can't be either.
Today, buddy.
Yeah,
Sure,
Kobe
again.
can't be either.
Kobe was also more consistent scoring than Harden was.
Where?
Nah, I
No,
can't say
no,
that.
he's not.
Yeah,
Harden's
he is.
more efficient than Kobe.
Y'all gonna be mad when Harden passes Kobe in all-time points.
Dude, Harden's already a secondary guy for his career behind
and averaging,
Embiid.
and averaging 22 and 10 at doing that.
Don't say averages. Don't say averages.
I'm just saying he still has a lot of points. He's still putting up a lot
Don't
of
say
points.
average. Go
He's
to
still putting
totals.
up a
How
lot
much
of
the fuck?
So you're still not answering the question, man.
What?
So you're saying, okay, was Kareem a better scorer than LeBron up until last year?
Yes, he was the all-time leading scorer. What we keep
Yeah.
saying this.
So he was better at putting the ball in the hole.
He was the
LeBron.
greatest scorer
No,
of all
that's-
time before
He was the
LeBron.
greatest scorer
passed
of all time.
him.
Actually, honestly,
he wasn't mediocre.
He's
He was the
better.
greatest.
There's a difference.
honestly, even I'm gonna tell you,
He shoot better
me,
than
me,
LeBron does.
me, hold on. Me personally, I'm gonna say this.
Uh-huh.
No, I think LeBron was a better scorer before he even broke the record for the fact that he averages more points than Kareem for his career.
My
So,
point
I believe-
exactly.
Yeah, I believe LeBron's better than Kareem before this record because
Yes, we all do.
Yes, it's a rhetorical question.
I just want to
He's
use the
been
record
the
because
greatest
he got the
scorer
record now.
for over a year.
Hey, and then this the whole thing, right? We all argue with debate sports. Everybody criteria is they own, but the problem is if you ain't consistent on your criteria, your criteria could have been, I think all the best scores is post scores. And if your criteria list is the same, then we have no problem. But you being inconsistent, that's where the problem comes to play.
Flip flop everywhere.
Perfect example. If we go by per game averages, Kobe's nowhere near top 5 at all.
No.
At all. But if we go by percentages,
See, I do totals, averages, and scoring titles. I do that. Playoffs and regular season.
It's got to be a mix of totals and averages. And what, so look at the top 5 scores of all time: Kareem, LeBron, Kobe, Mike, Carl. Is that right?
I don't go off neither one. My for scoring for me is versatility and your impact on scoring.
And out of the top 5 totals of scores of all time, only 2 of them are top 5 in points per game.
Yeah, LeBron and Mike.
That's
I
it.
can tell you right now on the top 10 list. Let me see. For my top 5 scores, let me see.
My list is
Only 3 in the top 5, and that's Bron, Kobe, and Mike. The other 2 people I got, Durant and Melo, is out the top 5 for me in scoring. Because basketball versatility and your impact. How versatile you score multiple ways possible, and how does your scoring impact winning? That's
so basically it's kind of like the eye test. People use the eye test over the stats.
I go right off the numbers.
I think when you go by how it impacts winning, that's kind of tricky.
I think both can be because like both of them, you have to combine both of them together.
Was Melo a better scorer than a prime Tracy McGrady?
Yes.
Yes.
What type of question is that?
Hold on.
I think it's a legit one.
He asked if Carmelo Anthony's a better scorer than prime T-Mac.
And Prime Melo, I'm taking Prime Melo. Melo
because T-Mac only had like a 2-3 year stretch.
Yeah, then he got injured as fuck.
Prime Melo
That's played 10 years before he got hurt. 10 straight years before he got hurt.
Yep. Prime Melo came in the league with no scoring weakness. Post up, jump shot, athletic, meaty.
Mind you, he was playing in the league and it was the lowest scoring.
He was very physical in the game as well.
Him averaging 30 when an average score was like 80-something points a game. That's impressive. That 30 means a lot than someone averaging 30 and a team scores 120 points a game.
Yeah.
James Harden averages 24.7 points per game for his career, shooting 44.2% from the field. He's a better free throw shooter than Kobe. He's a better three-point shooter than Kobe.
So right now he averages exactly what Kobe did almost for his career, right?
Yeah.
So let's wait until he's done at year 20.
That's what we tell you about Jordan. Let's give Jordan another 10 years.
Well, here's the difference, though.
Exactly.
This is what separates where I would. You could say like Harden has more scoring titles than Kobe. That actually debunks that.
He has 3 scoring titles, but what about the playoffs? Because you like the playoffs.
If you love averages, that means Wilt got to be in your top 5 or at least number 1.
Or Elgin Baylor.
Or Elgin Baylor. Or Adrian Dantley. What Adrian Dantley?
Or Jerry West. Jerry West is top 5 in the playoffs, and he's at least I think 6th or 7th in total. I think, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so they got to be in your list. Is Adrian Dantley in your list? Or Jerry
he
West?
can't have it because he flip flops around everything. So
Harden never led the playoffs in any titles of Ralph in scoring.
Scoring.
Yeah, he's never in the playoffs.
Kobe did it.
He came off the bench.
Yeah, Kobe. I think Kobe did it 2 or 3 times.
Maybe his teams would make the finals.
Well,
y'all gotta leave Harden alone. He's balling. Matter of fact, we're talking about that. Do y'all think that they have a chance against Boston?
Anybody?
No, they cooked.
Nope.
That's it. It's over.
That's it. It's a wrap. Boston
This is game 4. I gotta see game 4 to see.
You let Boston win 2 in a row? They
Boston's a good team though. They're a good, well-rounded team.
And beat is hurt. And you gonna rely on playoff Harden? You really relying on playoff Harden?
Yes.
Playoff Harden just dropped 45 first game, so you can't really say that, bro.
Y'all gotta stop disrespecting Harden. I had the same argument on Ralph's Live. Harden averages 22.8 for the playoffs.
Don't use averages, please. You don't want to use averages. Let's go. Use the totals. How many?
Craig always throwing some little.
Here go the totals.
Yeah, Craig do that in a heartbeat.
A whole of why averages don't matter.
He has 3,500.
Is average.
Hey, he has 3,500 points in the playoffs, which is a lot to have in the playoffs. He has over 900 rebounds. I mean, 900 assists, almost 1,000 assists.
What that got to do with scoring? We talking about scoring. You bring
3,500. He has 3,500 points in score, and that's a lot. That's 3,500 points.
Yeah,
that's a lot in the playoffs. In the playoffs, it's a lot.
That's a lot with no championships, man.
Yeah, here you go. See, there you go with the championship stuff. See,
that's a lot for one player.
That was hater comment. That was hater stuff.
So Tony Parker is a better scorer because he has more points in the championship than Harden.
No,
right? That's no.
You said it. You
No,
said he
I'm
was the better scorer because he got more points.
No,
You
I just get
said
tired.
that.
I get tired of people disrespecting Harden because from my eyes,
But now it's not an exception.
My eye test says Harden, Jordan, Kobe are all the same players, but Harden's more skilled than all of them. That's just what I see.
What?
Yeah, he do got more moves.
Yeah, he got a.
That's because of the everybody. Y'all taking it the wrong way. It's because everybody in this era is more skilled.
He's more skilled. I'm not saying he's a better player. He has more skills than Jordan.
Everybody got more skills. That don't make you a better player.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying. But my eye test says if he was with the Lakers like Kobe was and had Shaq, he would have championships. And if he had Scottie Pippen, he would have championships.
He had Kevin freaking
Durant. Who would have championships? Harden. Harden wouldn't have no championship.
He had
His
Paul,
defense.
he had Dwight Howard.
He would struggle with the defense.
If they don't trade him,
more than Jordan
if they don't if they don't trade him,
he would win with the Bulls.
Listen, if they don't trade him,
Nah,
and
he
they
wouldn't
trade
win with the
Ibaka,
Bulls. He can't play
they beat the
defense.
Spurs.
Crazy.
If they beat the Spurs,
He had Pippen to do that. Just
if
like
they
Jordan
keep
did.
Harden, OKC,
Hold on.
they beat the Spurs.
Hey, hold on. Wait a second. Ernest, nah, we're not doing that. If Harden was with
What you
Scottie
mean?
Pippen, they win a championship. Harden's defense is mediocre.
But
If
he had
Harden
Pippen.
just had
Harden's
Harden
defense
and
compared to
had Shaq,
Jordan's, we're not doing that, man.
You put Harden with AD.
No, man.
All Harden has to do is what Jordan did is shoot. I don't have to do nothing else.
Don't do that, Johnny. You know Jordan was a great defender.
who was
And you know Harden's nowhere. Hold on. You know Harden. Come on, Brandon. You know Harden's defense is nowhere. Nah.
Off the rails.
And not only could Harden score in more ways than Jordan, he was willing to pass the ball. So they probably even win even more.
No, I agree with Ralph. I agree with Ralph. Kobe and MJ are better defenders than Harden, hands down.
No, I ain't talking about the defensive part. I'm talking about the scoring and the passing. And
Harden,
That's what's gonna be.
he won win with the Bulls in
The
the
only
90s.
time Harden made finals, he came off the bench. So that tells you a lot about James Harden.
Because what the other team is going to counter on is with Harden, they're going to attack his opponent, and that's what they're going to be more effective.
Yeah, also, Harden's wildly inefficient. So.
that Jordan was guarding. I want to hear this player. Who was going to give Harden?
So how can we take the skills of Harden and bring him back
Percy
to the
Hawkins?
90s and think he'll be the same?
That's true too. That's true too. I don't really like
Man, imagine Harden in the 90s with a defense with an ISO ball in the corner.
Imagine Jordan getting to take 4 steps to make a layup.
James Harden will be Mitch Richmond.
Weak ass defense in the 90s.
Imagine Jordan could do a moonwalk to the other side of the 3-point line and take a trick shot.
You imagine Jordan being able to play with Durant and Westbrook. Come on, they wouldn't lose a game.
You crazy? Jordan wouldn't even pass them the ball like that.
Sure he would.
Y'all need to cut it out, bro.
Because Jordan averaged 0 dimes a game.
Is they running the triangle?
I'm trying to see this player.
Jordan averaged
Pippen in the triangle.
5 assists for his whole career, like Pippen, but yet he was a
Is they running the triangle? If they ain't running the triangle, he ain't winning.
Yeah, if Phil Jackson ain't coming and no team Jordan on, they not winning nothing.
Jordan also has the most assists ever in a finals series if you're scoring over 30 points a game.
All this started because of my eye test. You see how honestly I see why y'all call me the Jordan hater, because I just mentioned Harden being
you super hater. You a super
You did it.
Well, look, fellas, we get into the games, man. It's 3:00. We've been 2 hours. It's been a great show. Travis, I am not going to make videos of you, Travis, because you're a good sport. Thank you for showing up on our show.
You lying.
Yeah, you're going to be bored, Johnny. You're going to get bored. You're going to get bored, and you're going to be like searching through the video. You say, I got to cut this up and make a video. That's what you're going to do.
Hey, Johnny, when you make them, if you don't want to send them to me. I'll post them for you.
Now, listen. Travis has not said nothing that we have not heard here before from Michael Jordan.
Nah, he cool.
He has not said nothing different. he is somebody who's been following Brandon and I for a long time. He's always trolled us. He has a special meme that he loves to show us that doesn't have rebounds per game. It only has offensive rebounds per game and defensive rebounds per game, but no rebounds per game. And then there's another one where he has with Kareem, Michael, and Jordan that he loves to post. He loves to bring it up in the group. That's one of his favorite things, is sitting in his gallery.
My 3 goats.
The 3 goats. Hey, I mean, they all listen. We love basketball, so that's why we're going to get off now. We're going to get ready for James Harden show because Harden's about to show up. Okay, and then we're going to see if KD is really KD. Because Booker's playing better than him, as far as we can say by points per game, right?
As a number two option. That's all. He got more space to operate. Of course, you don't look good with KD next to you.
Those two together almost scored 90.
That's incredible.
And we all seeing that.
That's what
KD just seems to be a little more efficient.
That's how KD wins in the players. When he have another good ball dominant offensive player, you notice when he was playing. That's what he.
I mean, it's easy to look good with KD.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He had Steph.
I mean, he had Kyrie Irving. He got swept in the first round. So
well, they only played all together. They played 16 games together.
That's not all.
They didn't really play.
Johnny, if you the Jordan hater, Craig definitely LeBron hater. So y'all fit right here together. There, y'all hate.
I don't hate LeBron. I got LeBron as number 2, and as long as he got the 4 final MVPs, he'll be number 2.
And listen,
what do you got to do to be 1?
I tried to be quiet this
6
show.
final MVPs.
I tried to be quiet this show, right? Because last week I had to get off early because of the Heat and Knicks game, and Craig came back on and gave everybody the greatest perspective we can have from a Michael Jordan fan. I told him that over the phone. I sent him a message, and I said I was gonna be quiet today, but Craig came back with his trolling self with his little 1-2 comments.
Craig's been on the level.
Try to be consistent. I don't want to hear averages from any GOAT LeBron player's mouth ever again.
It's another thing you say. Don't bring up media awards.
Careers.
Yeah. Listen,
totally
you guys.
Careers.
Thanks for joining us. Shout out
better than both of them. Forget it. I'm changing. Kareem better than both of them.
Shout out to everybody that's commenting. Shout out to Frederick. Shout out to Emilio, Straight Primo, Zero. We saw Twin Man pop up. King Musafa Red. All of our subscribers, thank you guys for joining us. Everybody that's on our YouTube and our Facebook account, thanks for joining us again. We'll be back next week for some more topics.
Oh, you got Emilio?
Is that his name? His name is Emilio Lakers.
Yeah, he be in the comments on my TikTok, guys.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Renegade, all of you guys, man. Everybody, you guys are great supporters of us. LeBron Legacy Podcast. Like I said, guys, check out the membership. Check out our Facebook group. Shout out to Trey. Trey has been in the comments too as well today. What up, Trey? Ghost 2000, all you guys, man. Everybody, man. Again, thanks for your support. Next week, guys, are you going to bring us the most hated LeBron people? Jordan? Can we do that next week?
We already did that.
No, we don't know who's
No,
we never did that. We want to know who's the most hated LeBron people by Jordan fans.
We did that last week.
No, we did. It's still who the most hated by LeBron fans. Who's the most hated as?
No, it's definitely it's Curry, Durant, or Jordan. That's it.
Okay, you're right. You guys, we brought up who was the most hated by Michael Jordan fans. You guys are supposed to bring up who's the most hated.
We
by
did.
LeBron.
I named it last week. Look at the show last week. I did.
Curry, without question.
Do it because we talked to Heat last week. No,
Y'all left early.
We left early, Ralph.
I named them. I named them on my list, and before I left.
Now I want to make a graph. You got to send it to me. I want to make a graph. I didn't make a graph in a few weeks. I want to make a graph. I'm gonna make a graph. So we're gonna do that next week. And Brandon always got something good for y'all. Anyways, we're gonna have a great show. Y'all guys enjoy your Sunday. Thanks for joining Goat James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and A. Johnny. Say bye, panel, and say bye, everybody. Say bye. Good night.
All right, fellas.
SB, thanks for joining us, man. Travis. Get off the phone. It's your phone. Anyways, y'all be good. Thanks again, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace and blessings from Goat James Kingdom Show. Y'all be good.
All right.
See you guys.